Welcome to Otakusandgeeks.com, the podcast, episode 14. It's an otaku thing. Justin here, co-creator of Otakusandgeeks.com, and founder of Imaginative Visions. And we actually have our co-host as well, so I'm going to pass it to Nadia. How you doing?
Hey guys, hanging in. Gotham Geek Girl here. Working on a few things. Just follow my YouTube. I'll have a couple more unboxings coming up. And yeah.
Jarrell.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's the Icon. You can check me out on Red Eyes Entertainment on YouTube. We are currently going over WrestleMania weekend. We just did NXT TakeOver. Night 1 of WrestleMania was yesterday. Night 2 coming up tonight. And, of course, Batwoman is back. We're doing Supergirl, Black Lightning, and Superman and Lois when that returns as well.
Yeah, you should do Ashley.
Oh, well, that was going to be the end.
Okay.
But,
well,
I mean, spoiler. Hey, Ashley's... Welcome home, Ashley.
Hey, good to be back home.
Said, welcome home. She was in the pen. Like, wow.
Now, she's been going from... for those who don't know, Ashley is actually co-creator, founder of Otakus and Geeks. So, I take all the credit.
Oh, you were talking about Ashley, not Sean.
No, I was talking about Ashley.
you saw me. You saw me last night. If I was in the pen,
No, not the pen. When he said the co-creator, I thought he was talking about you.
No, I came aboard. I just latched myself to them.
I thought you put the
He just latched himself on.
Sean puts the OG in the OG podcast.
I like the old man jokes when some of y'all are only 3 or 4 years younger than me.
Nobody knows that.
They know it now.
Nobody knows how old I am.
How old are you, though?
Wow. How old do I look?
I don't know. 37?
Yeah, well, Nadia, you've seen me before. How old do I look?
Look 37.
That sounds right.
Oh, wow.
Hey, damn sure ain't 37.
Oh, he's 36?
Nope.
He ain't 36 either.
Wow, you don't know how old I am?
No,
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
I mean, he has to be at least 39, being that he...
Keep going.
Dude, I'm 40.
Get out of here. What do you drink?
Yeah. So what do I drink?
Black
40?
don't crack,
I'm
man.
40, man. Like, the secret is living on the beach, going jogging in the morning, and using Bath and Body Works.
Apparently, living in Far Rock extends the life.
It's the salt water.
Yeah, that cotton blossom body cream. Right?
And Bath and Body Works.
Oh, Jesus. I ain't gonna lie. I use Bath and Body Works, too. I used to have to go in there and lie and say it was for my mom or my girlfriend.
Since we're on that topic, I am also a subscriber to using Bath and Body Works. So, longevity, people.
Yeah, nobody knows. That's why nobody knows my age. I'm going to ride that till the wheels fall off.
It got nothing to do with the melanin in the gene pool, but okay. What's Sean? Go ahead.
Well, this is Sean, the True Comic Fan. Also, co-host for The Chronicles, Bearing Goods, if it ever comes back, because they've all gone MIA, or their wives have locked them in the basement. Also a writer for OG. And again, just celebrating making it out of Dunkin' Donuts just now. Jesus Christ. The woman was slower than death for Prince William. Wow. Sorry about that.
Ooh, wow. Damn.
Wow.
If you had a wow button, I would say press that shit.
R.I.P.
I mean, the man was 99 years old, so,
God damn.
We're
sorry, Britain listeners.
Yeah, he was 99 and he looked like he died 30 years before that.
I would do a horrible British accent, but we have a theater teacher here, so I'm not going to do it.
I do that shit all the time.
Damn, Ashley. Damn. Like, if I wanted to.
It's also because I can't do it and I don't want to offend.
Okay.
Oh, no.
We're sorry.
Yeah, I don't care.
But my offense was not that Prince William wasn't a decent person. No. It's just that man lived
99 lives.
99 years.
Yeah.
I said 99 lives. Might as well be. But with this episode is obviously titled It's an Otaku Thing, so that's why Ashley's here, because we're going to be doing mostly heavy anime, Japanese culture, and things like that this episode. So, a little quick warning, because I got to, just in case we have younger listeners. This episode is going to be for mature audiences only, because hentai will be discussed. Things such as tentacles and things of that nature. So
it's Jarrell's favorite subject.
Yes, Jarrell's favorite subject.
So
I
hate tentacles.
Things like the Blue Girl, Bible Black will be discussed. So, just throwing that out there. If you are sensitive or don't want to hear shit like that, like anime pillows and things like that when we get to it.
Oh, your mom's in the room and you just don't want to let her hear this?
So this is probably going into its Chronicles type of level territory, but, we'll keep it.
Stop playing with these kids. There's nothing entering Chronicles type territory. Somebody slept with their stepsister on that episode, so there's no entering that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we ain't going to go that far.
This will be educational for me because I know nothing about the culture. I thought there were actually going to be tacos here, so now I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah, but... Yeah, and it's otaku, but we'll get to that. It's not tacos, as everybody keeps saying
That's
it.
what he said.
Stop fucking up the culture.
Yeah, but we'll get into that later. But first, we're going to talk really quickly about some reviews. We're going to do some quick reviews on Invincible, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and just one news of the recent leaked photo of the Powerpuff Girl live action.
Why is Are we still? Are we still calling them girls?
Wait, did Nadia bust up a gunshot?
Powerpuff thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god!
I swore for a second she had the illest Jamaican accent. She was like, "Fire for them."
Since we're on the topic right now, so recently this week, CW, like TMZ, because TMZ gets everything, and apparently when people die before we know it, TMZ's like become the number one news source for true things now.
That's true.
A gossip to a truth site. I don't get it.
That's true because they said what's the name died like 30 years ago. His body's just been walking around.
So TMZ took got a hold of some on-set pics of the CW produced. I had to let the people know who's doing this. The CW produced Powerpuff Girl live action, which is actually them teenagers. And
teenage, that's worse.
Yeah, they're grown women. They're like grown ass women. Like,
that is worse.
And it's been race swamped as well in certain casting. So that's that. And I'm not a fan of it. It looks like terrible Party City cosplay. Like they just got this outfit from Party City, put this shit on, and it's like, okay, play the girls.
All right, let's be honest. This is the only thing we're hoping doesn't happen. There better not be a black guy playing Mojo Jojo.
You know what? Dead ass. I thought that before we started.
There better not be a black guy playing Mojo Jojo in a wild ass turban. No. Like Nick Cannon better not walk out with his turban on.
No, that's even worse.
Well, apparently Mojo Jojo is not going to be a black guy. He's cast as a Caucasian playing Mojo, and I believe he's going to start off as a human first, and then
so they just not including us anymore.
Yeah, see,
you know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about? Well, don't be offended because they race swamped Professor Utonium with Donald Faison from Scrubs.
Yeah, but that's because they realized the show ain't had no black people in it. So,
and no, one of the I think it's not Bubble. Is it Bubble? No, I think it's Buttercup is played by a black woman. No, not Buttercup. What's the feisty one?
Buttercup.
Oh, it's Buttercup. So yeah, I think Buttercup.
No,
is
Buttercup is the cute one.
That's Bubbles.
That's Bubbles.
And Blossom's the leader. So I think
Blossom's pink, red. Bubbles is blue, and Buttercup is green.
Yeah, Buttercup is being played by a black woman. So
because the joke is she's named Buttercup, but she's a total.
Feisty one. So.
You mean they didn't want to name her Cocoa Butter?
Well, I absolutely have no faith in this show.
Oh shit.
I'm just gonna be real. I have no faith in this show. Certain cartoons do not, and we're gonna touch on that later on when we get to the anime live action stuff. Certain things need to just stay in animation because it's successful in animation for a reason, because it might be a little difficult to pull off in live action. And then the fact that you're not even casting kids to play girls.
That was really, it's not even the live action for me. It's just like, just cast children.
It looks awkward.
It's just for pervs.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
It looks awkward for...
I don't know, Nadia. I have to think, if it was just for pervs, they probably would have casted children. Like,
shit. I mean... When you look at it that way, yeah. But obviously, they ain't cast children because of child labor laws. You can't do 22 seasons, I guess.
Have you seen Stranger Things?
What do
you mean child labor laws?
I'm trying to make an excuse for the CW right now.
Have you watched Stargirl?
I'm trying to make an excuse for the CW right now to why they didn't cast kids to play kids. It just looks weird, man.
I think I guess because if they wanted to make it, because CW is kind of it. I guess maybe they're trying to get into that teenage adult audiences.
They've been had
so
that.
maybe like what they did with Charmed, they're trying to go younger. I don't know. I stopped watching CW
Since just Supernatural
years.
left.
Well, no, Supernatural was on for first of all, Supernatural was on too long. It was on for 14 seasons. They needed to stop after season 5.
Wait, so Supernatural ended?
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended. It's done. But so
I apologize. I thought it was still going.
Feels that way.
But I think now CW is having the Texas Ranger, and Jared Padalecki from Supernatural is playing the Texas Ranger.
I thought that got canceled. Did
Did
it?
it get canceled?
I don't pay attention to CW that much. Let's ask Jarrell. Jarrell, did it get canceled?
That's the last time I heard. But anyway, yeah, Supernatural it should have been over season 5 in my opinion.
I know nothing about the CW
I know.
outside of the Arrowverse. If it's not in the Arrowverse, I mean, though that Kung Fu show looked pretty interesting, but
Yeah, don't ask Nadia. She started watching Arrowverse after like season 2 of everything.
I stopped watching after. Shit. I can't even.
the shame.
I think when they started the whole "we're Team Flash."
but they are Team Flash.
Yeah, that's when she dialed it
That's
out.
what
She was
that's
like, I'm done. That's when she was like, I
And
walked
when
away
it
from this.
became Olicity, like Olicity was like too much. It was like,
That was season 4.
See,
Yeah, that's season 4.
yeah, I
that
fell
was
off.
that was
I
season
tried
4.
Again. I did come back for a bit, and then I was like, I can't watch this shit.
Yeah.
see, that's
They felt that pain because they killed that Olicity shit quick.
yeah. But I mean, what do y'all think about the Powerpuff, the outfits,
They're pictures.
Wait,
I
they
don't-
had outfits.
All right. They're
costumes? I
I'm
guess
just like,
I don't know.
who is watching this?
Yeah.
Like, I guess this is a market as like a nostalgia kind of thing, but I have no
Right.
will to see this shit, and it's not revamping it for the next generation because they're grown ass women. So it's pointless.
It's kind of weird,
That's-
like
I
grown
think-
women doing that.
Yeah,
But
it's like creepy.
Listen.
I think really they're probably trying to get the generation that did watch Powerpuff Girls to rewatch it for that nostalgic type of thing. But then again, why just continue it as a cartoon?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That
Well,
was
they
doing
tried that
live
too.
action. And they did, and yeah, that didn't work.
It
either.
failed because they didn't cast the original cast. That's the only reason why that failed.
And not only that too, but it's a different art style.
Oh yeah, they
As
did. They
well.
went to the cow art style, which everybody hates. So
Yeah. So and
let's-
they tried to put in new conventions. Like they added like a sister that they didn't know who was black. They
A sister.
tried that.
yeah,
She was like purple.
Put your hand down.
Yeah.
She was purple and had like blue hair. I forgot what her name was, and she was taller.
Yeah.
So she was like the older sister, teen sister. So they tried to add that.
I
in there.
actually saw that. I saw that episode.
yeah,
Let's,
it didn't really work.
let's be
Um,
honest. They'll be canceling this show as soon as one of the girls' skirts is 2 inches shorter than what it should be, and then cancel culture will come in and be like, "You're exploiting women," and the show's over.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a cartoon because I did read a report because the girl who's playing Blossom and Bubbles, I only know the two of them because they were enemies on Agents of Shield. So when I saw their pictures, I was like, hey, I know these two girls. Let me read this, and they said they're gonna do the Powerpuff Girls. I thought they were voiceover actors. I didn't think this shit was live action. I thought you were joking when you sent me that picture.
Anything for $1.
I troll, but I
Yeah, I thought you was. I
don't
kidding.
troll when it comes to film and TV.
I thought they were dead ass doing voice acting.
I looked at that. I was like, this is for convention. What was this for? And then
And the one thing that I don't want if they're gonna do it, I don't want them to like act like children
I think that's what my biggest
like-
fear is. I think that's what they're going to be.
because that's
doing.
gonna make it worse. And because we're all in agreement that it's gonna be trash, I feel like I should watch it just to troll y'all about it.
I mean, you could go ahead and waste your hour of life.
I mean,
if you want to do that.
one of us should at least watch the pilot just to confirm.
On a dare?
Just to
Oh, well.
just to confirm that the boat is taking.
I mean,
on water.
I saw Bloodshot,
Noses.
and
Oh, so you watched Bloodshot?
yeah,
So you wasted an hour and a half of your life.
yeah.
What's Bloodshot?
Exactly.
Remember the last time on the last episode I said I was going to watch Vin Diesel's Bloodshot?
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
Shit.
And that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to talk about it.
I have nothing to say about Vin Diesel ever again in life.
I saw it. Nadia, don't ever watch that movie. Ever.
Don't watch it.
Don't ever watch it. Ever.
Do you know what day of the week? Because now I'm in Arrowverse mode. If y'all bringing in a Powerpuff Girls show, what show's getting moved to make room?
Put that shit on a Sunday, please.
Sundays get canceled.
Put it on a Sunday at 10 p.m.
Oh shit!
Or put that shit after the news. I don't know. I mean,
He said after the news.
I don't know. Just well, let's move on. Sean, how's Invincible doing?
It's actually really good. And I will say they are taking elements out of the comic book and changing it around a little bit. Like, I read the comic book almost to the end. I actually had to watch a YouTuber go through the last of Invincible, so I know exactly how the story ended. But Invincible is a really, like, the last episode is starting to build up for revealing who Robot really is, getting closer to showing you what's going to be a strained relationship between Mark and his dad, setting up elements to look like about a lot of double cross, and they are changing it up a little bit. So I don't know exactly if they're going to follow the comic completely, but I'll just tell you, like, this episode was really well done. Jarrell would probably like it because the brother got his revenge at the end.
Solid.
Yeah, exactly. And that was it. I mean, Nadia, did you watch episode 5?
Hell yeah, I'm caught up.
Yeah, so.
It was so good. It was Marshala Ali.
Oh yeah, like
I love him.
I didn't realize that was the voice, but the episode was really well done, like the setup and everything. And I was just sitting there like, oh man, like, yo, he really played him really well with everything. Since Nadia and I are the only two that saw it, Nadia, your opinion about the episode?
I loved it. I think the casting has been like perfect for it. Every episode, it's like something unexpected is gonna happen. And yeah, I didn't read all of the comic. I only read like the first like whole book, like the first volume. So I do know that a couple things have changed, and I want to obviously keep continuing reading. But I'm really loving what they're doing. It's like perfect action. The story's great. Like I said, I love the cast. Yeah, and this episode was amazing. Everyone just has to remember to watch, like, literally to the very end of every episode.
Yeah.
Because there's usually some kind of, like, twist where you're like, oh, shit.
And one thing I do like...
How many episodes is it supposed to be?
I think this might be 12.
Which I like, because it's like an hour. It literally treats it like it's like an hour sometimes each episode. So it's like you're watching...
Yeah, it's like 40-something.
Yeah.
And what's crazy about it is, like, every time when you think the episode ends, which is... It looks like, okay, the episode ends and they've gone into another episode, and this is just the after credits episode. There's like another 5 minutes of footage that you're like, holy crap. And I do like the cute thing that they're doing. Every time, instead of saying his name, when they're about to say, oh, daddy, who's that? And then they just flash to the opening screen of his name. So it's a really well done. I mean, I'm going to give Robert Kirkman props that he really takes care of his people, because half of the cast of the Walking Dead characters that died off are not in it are the voice actors for this. So,
can we also say that soundtrack?
Yes, that soundtrack is fire, yo.
Oh, in that particular episode?
Yeah, a lot of the episodes.
Oh no, the
general,
soundtrack is
in
beautiful.
the
Brilliant. They go hard on the music.
And you got to give, and the relationship in those episodes, like, and one thing I do like, they're not afraid to show you somebody getting their ass damn near killed. Like, somebody nearly, I mean, even though in the comic book a few of the characters do lose their lives, but they're not afraid to show you that, like in episode 5, that battle scene, people got their asses whooped. Whooped. And there's one thing to pay attention to, Justin, I'll send you a link to it. There's a character in there that does a lot of the whooping. They do a better in-depth look at who he is. He's really good. And I mean, this is not spoilers because I'm pretty sure this will be 2 or 3 seasons away. You're going to enjoy if they do start bringing in the other Viltrumites, if they start telling you the full story of Robot, Invincible later in the future. This might be a spoiler, so anybody, spoiler alert, like he does end up with Adam and Eve. And they end up having kids, and he's like way into the future. And there's also something really big between him and his father that they reveal like towards the end of the series of who they really are. And hopefully it gets that far. Hopefully this becomes, I mean, I'm pretty sure if Robert Kirkman does it, he's going to wrap it up in maybe 4 seasons. But because you don't need to tell every story of Invincible, but you need to tell like some of the main stories. So it's really good. They have a big reveal story on that, and I'll send that to anybody who wants it. It's just messed up.
Okay. And before we get into Falcon and Winter Soldier, thoughts on the long Halloween trailer? Did you see it? The animation, Batman animation.
Oh, DC?
Yep.
I did see that.
I thought I think it captured the comic, at least the first half of it.
I read the comic, so it's kind of like I have to watch it.
Wasn't a fan of the comic?
No, because the long Halloween was really brutal for Batman.
Yeah.
And I have to watch this one to see if like they can, because listen, they did Hush, and I really wanted to just get on a plane ride to whoever did the Hush animation
And slap him.
Nah, he has to get it kicked off the planet. Like,
Damn.
You hated the animation?
yeah. No. The story. He needs the person who did the Hush
Twist.
story. So yeah, he has to get kicked off the planet. You ruined what was probably one of Batman's greatest villains in his thing for I don't know what story that was. Like you have to go.
Well, look at it like this. They rebooted the universe, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Nah, you still need to pay for your sin for that one. Like, you gotta go.
I mean, I like the trailer. I thought it was pretty good. I do like they used Calendar Man and so they did include the characters that need to be included. So he's just hoping they're not going to take some liberties like they did with the Killing Joke, Hush, and just add a little.
Even the Killing Joke was way better than Hush.
I know, I'm just saying, like adding little changes that
I
didn't
actually
need to
liked
be
Hush.
there. I liked Hush until the damn reveal.
That tells me your taste in DC.
Yeah, Hush should have been longer.
Yeah,
They cut a lot out. It was good, but
Hush-
they cut a lot out
Hush
of
should have
important
been
stuff.
better. Like
I mean, Arkham City did Hush better than this movie. So
Hush is not the Riddler. I'm sorry, anybody who hasn't watched it.
I mean, he's not, but it wasn't that. I mean, I was confused of why they made that choice, but it wasn't enough for me.
we all confused why they made that
but
choice.
it was,
Yeah,
but it
they
was.
could have added like another, like at least 40 minutes and like.
And they could have like made it a twist that the Riddler was brainwashed and the real Hush is still
out
like
there.
what he does in the comic book. He always makes you think that Batman has caught him, and then he's gone. He's basically Batman.
The Psycho.
Yeah, just the anti Batman side. Like he's
Reverse
the only,
Bruce.
pretty much. He's the only one I think can rival the Joker, and that was even a good comic where they actually went where he actually pissed the Joker off enough that the Joker started going after him, and the Joker couldn't beat him. So this was like a real. I mean, when I say the Joker couldn't beat him, the Joker had to go back to like old tactics. Joker had to go back to visit old friends that were like crazier than he was to get it back together to come back to go after Hush. I mean, this is just how bad Hush was. He literally ruined. I mean, there's a point where Hush makes Batman unveil a protocol where if he's driven crazy, and this just tells you how much Batman really thinks of everything. If he's driven crazy, he created a personality to take over as Batman while his mind heals, just in case they ever drove him crazy. Which the costume for that was insane, and that should just tell you that if Batman is thinking of everything, and this man is countering him on it, you could have done a better anime than what you gave us. The Riddler. Not saying the Riddler ain't shit, but not for that.
But yep. So anybody like the trailer?
I actually didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Okay. Oh,
I liked it. I think it also helped that Jensen Ackles was playing Batman, so it all ties in back to Supernatural. He sounded fine because this is the younger Batman, so it was like earlier in his career.
You're such a Jensen fangirl.
Let me be great. And then there was, I think, Night.
Oh yes, rest in peace, Naya.
Yes, Naya Rivera. She's playing Catwoman, so this was one of her last roles before she passed away.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. to her. I don't know who's playing the Joker in this version. It sounds like Mark Hamill-ish. But
it might be Troy.
Yeah, because I was like,
It could
isn't there another actor that kind of sounds Mark
It could be.
Hamill-ish with
It might be Troy Baker.
yeah, because Troy did the younger version of Joker in the game. So I don't know if he was brought back to do it. It does sound a little bit. I mean, also too, Troy he did a really good job playing Joker, and I couldn't tell that was actually Troy's voice. So it could be him for that.
Yep.
I mean, I liked it.
It is Troy.
It is right.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. He's a great voice actor, so I think they got the right person for the job. So I don't know. I think it's a really good cast. I think it's going to be fine. I've always thought DC did better jobs with their animation than Marvel. So
True.
We'll just have to see what happens. I'm familiar with the Long Halloween story, so I'm waiting to see what their iteration is, separate from like the game. So we'll see.
Yep. But Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 5.
4.
Oh, it's 4?
4.
Oh, 4.
Is
My
it
bad.
4?
Yeah, it's 4. Yeah.
No,
It's 4.
I think it had. No, you're right because
It's 4.
there's 2 episodes.
4, yeah.
I'm
My bad.
thinking of 5. I'm like,
Sorry,
no,
I'm going to the future, like the Flash. He went cray. So,
But I mean, they've been alluding to that for so long.
What they finally alluded finally happened.
Yeah.
So
It's the only thing is like I did like the twist of him getting the super soldier serum instead of the government giving it to him automatically, and then he comes out like that. The only problem I do have with it is that they kind of made this like BS thing that he was the top tier of human perfection. Like, so he's throwing the shield around, and you kind of look at him like the only reason Cap can throw it and catch it like that is because he has the strength to do it. So you're telling me that this dude is the top tier of perfection and everything. He can throw it like that. And the only other person I saw doing it like that but didn't catch it, and it was Bucky that caught it, was when Falcon threw it and Bucky just grabs it like, it was good. It was kind of interesting. I'm gonna throw up the fist again for Jarrell with the Doma Milaje when he kind of got bitched out. Like she throws a spear in there, he can't get it out, and she pulls it out with ease and then bangs the shield up and catches it, and then looks at him like, "Here you go, bitch."
he got humbled real.
Yeah, he got
quick.
humbled real quick. Because he was just like, let's be honest. Falcon warned him. Like, he was like, you don't know these women. Do not condescend to them. Like, just have respect and reverence because they will beat the piss out of you, like, if they have to.
And they did. And that made him get the serum.
Yeah.
And but I enjoyed it. I thought this was I did like episode 3, but I think this one was more superior. The more superior episode. I do like the fact that we learned something about Bucky and his arm that they just like there's that fail safe button switch that only the Wakandas know. It's just like, yo, just press this, and he's like,
press what? She literally did some like Mr. Miyagi finger pointing thing on her. Just like beep beep beep, and just looked at him, and his arm fell off, and he was like, "What the hell?"
And they was like, "Did you know that happened?" No. So clearly the Wakandans put a failsafe just in case Bucky ever decided to relapse and go ape shit again. They have a way to put him down. So that was kind of smart. So I mean, I like the action was good. I did like the interaction between Falcon. I'm sorry, I forgot the redhead's name, but
Carly.
Thank you, Carly's. I did like that interaction when he was trying to calm her down.
Yeah.
And she was close to her. I was like, watch this dude come and mess this shit up. And
Yeah,
then
you
right on cue.
Yeah, you knew that shit was going to happen.
Right on cue, he gonna come in and just like waving his dick around like, hey, no, we're gonna do this shit my way, and it's just like, oh boy, he just fucked up the whole operation. But overall, I thought it was a solid episode.
I hated that actor choice though, because like you said, the two of them had a very nice conversation.
Yeah,
she looked inside his soul, and then as soon as Bootleg Cap broke the whole thing up, her first thought was, "You've betrayed me, Samuel." And I'm like, how did you come to that conclusion?
Because she's already on edge, you know. She just thinks that he was trying to lure her in.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But the soup, but like Zemo said, the serum is starting to fuck with people's brains. So she getting a little too But that's just something that they do. They do in like television. Period. That always annoyed me. Like when two people have a nice conversation and then some random person breaks it up. There's always one person that's like, "Oh, you set me up," and I'm like, I just hate when
that cliche.
Yeah, I just hate that cliche.
I mean, for this one, you can actually understand because he said, "I came just to talk to you. I'm holding them back," and then she kind of feels like you lured me in to a sense of calm just for them to be able to pop up and grab me real quick. You know, that's what she feels the setup is. But we also got to give a shout out to Zemo. Because he's keeping his word on, I don't like super soldiers, and I'm going to get rid of them in the world. And he damn near broke all the vibes.
I thought he was going to take it.
Yeah, no.
I thought he was going to take it.
And one thing I will say is that there's going to be, the power broker obviously has a sample of that. There's no way all that stuff is gone, even though once they blow it up. Yeah. The power broker has the formula, has a sample of it, because this is not going to be the last time we're going to see the super soldier thing, because we are going to get the Weapon X program. We are going to get everything in there. And, you know, we are going to get eventually, because I think Marvel, and this is just my speculation, not that it's true, that they're going to somehow start the whole mutant revolution thing off with Wolverine, because they keep giving Wolverine Easter eggs in every episode. You know, so let's see what happens.
Nadia, what you think?
I'm loving it. Honestly, like I was like raving about it like when I watched it. I like it more than WandaVision so far. I think it's tying the universe together beautifully. I love how they introduced the Dora Milaje in it. I love how they're tying in, I don't know, they're just like tying in everything. They're answering questions about the blip, like things like that, you know, a lot of people didn't really consider, like when all these millions of people came back, like what the hell is going to happen? And like Falcon's really going into all these like things that people didn't really think about. So I think it's great action. I think it's great. Like I said, like the pandering between Sam and Bucky, and then what's her name? Sharon is such a badass.
Oh yeah.
I love everything. Honestly, I'm loving it, and I wish we had more episodes. I think it's 2 left.
Yeah, yep. My family has a theory that Sharon's the power broker. She's too invested.
Something. She's gonna come back. There's definitely gonna be something.
Yeah, because she seems to, or she knows who the power broker is at least. Because she's too. Yeah. She's like it's like I gotta protect my ass type of mode, like not just from the government, like yo, I kind of made a deal with somebody, like she's probably working for somebody else.
And Zemo's great escape, like I hope he's coming back.
No, because the way they're doing Zemo is really well done. They're not doing like this, like Baron Zemo from the comic books and everything. He's just overly and I'm doing this. No, they're actually, you know, you like Zemo. You kind of think he's just smooth, and you just kind of understand that he's pissed off because all this power is why he really wasn't a bad guy. He just, you know, all this power, he lost his family, he lost his country, and now all these people are running around with power and not caring. And he actually understands what the flag, even though I don't agree with this, there is a character called Flag Smasher. But they, you know, he understands what the Flag Smashers are going through. They were, when everybody disappeared, the world became peaceful. People who weren't usually friends became friends and lived together in harmony. And now the old heads came back and they decided, no, we're not going to live like that anymore. We're going to put everything back to the way it was. Kind of, you know, I understand what they're fighting for. So let's see where it goes in the next 2 episodes, because they have a lot to cover for 2 episodes left.
Yeah, that's what interests me, because I feel like, it's not like most shows where they have time to like tell. They're kind of squeezing a lot of stuff in here, and they're bringing up things like with the original Black Captain America, the original Super Soldier guy. So we're just not going to bring him up ever again. Like I feel like we maybe needed more time to tell that story. Like you said, they're dropping.
Yeah, Isaiah, they got to bring him back.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna do more with him and Torres for sure.
See, but then when
Well, we don't know if they're going to be a season 2 because
Yeah,
they
that's
just unlike WandaVision, which we knew should have just been a one-off, and it's going to stay a one-off. Falcon and Winter Soldier could possibly be another season. This could just be a test run to see if Disney is like there's such an interest,
and if it's doing the numbers that Disney wants on Disney Plus.
It could be such an interest in it because you kind of need something like this, kind of like how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was. You need to be able to talk about some of the B-rated characters because there are a lot, just like both DC and Marvel, there are a lot of characters who aren't in the spotlight who need a story, need to be able to, they're interesting. You need to be able to tell a story. Falcon is a very interesting character that didn't get his due in the comic books until recently. Bucky was big, but then he kind of fell off. There are other characters that you can bring up that nobody else really talks about. Zemo's a great character to bring up. Other villains you can bring up that nobody really wants to talk about. I'm hoping that they parlay this into a jump off for the West Coast Avengers instead of just having like the regular team, because the Avengers have so many different teams, and I swear everybody in Marvel Comics has been an Avenger at one point.
Yeah. At this point, yeah.
But there's too many factions right now. Because even with the whole Sharon thing, I'm like, if she turns out to be the
power broker,
that would be cool because she's not really doing much. She's not really serving a purpose right now because that random Spanish guy that Sam's been friends with, he probably could have did all the stuff that Sharon did. So I'm still trying to find out what her purpose is.
Yeah, that's true too.
So her being the villain would make sense. But now you got Sharon doing her thing. You got Sam and Bucky. You got Zemo. You got
Torres is supposed to be a new Falcon though.
Who?
So I feel like
Torres.
Since U.S. agents kind of going to be the villain, I feel like that's where they're heading. That Falcon's going to become Cap, and then Torres will become Falcon.
Oh, makes sense.
That's my theory.
I hope not, because Falcon needs to just be Falcon. He needs to be Captain Falcon.
Yeah, but I find that guy annoying though.
Taurus, yeah.
Yeah, I find Taurus annoying.
Like I said, the first episode was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work.
And also, I don't think that Black Star, Morning Star, was the black dude?
Battlestar. Is it Battlestar?
Yeah.
Black Star?
Yeah, Battlestar.
Battlestar.
Yeah, I don't think he's dead. And the reason why I say that, when like after his head like keeled over, then everybody just like dipped. Like nobody even checked on him. Everybody just dipped.
I think they
checked on him.
They checked his
was
pulse.
No, but he was the only one. Everybody else is left, and then he left to go kill that dude. When everyone had left the building, they unnecessarily put the camera back on him.
Just show that he's dead, apparently.
No, but they showed that he was dead 3 times already.
Oh.
And then when Cap, because Cap was the last person in the room with him, when Cap left and he was chasing Homeboy in the street, they did another shot on Black Star or whatever.
It's possible. They
So,
could've
but,
easily-
and for me, like I said, like I do editing and film and stuff. So I was just like, that's a weird
shot to do.
That's a weird unnecessary close up. But then I remembered when he was just like, bro, if they offered you the super soldier serum, would you take it? And he was like, hells to the yeah. I feel like maybe obviously he took some, but maybe he shared it. Maybe he gave half of it to his boy.
Now you have to take the whole vial. There's no splitting it up like that. That's why they're in vials like that. You have to take the whole thing for it to go through.
Did anybody ever say that?
Yeah, they've said it in the Captain America. They have to take the whole, like the vials are set up that way so that you can take, you can take your dose. But they could have did a close up just to show the dramatic, because I felt like they really got like dark and depressing. That's why I was making jokes to people like, "Oh, DC fans will love this." It's dark and depressing for this, because I kind of felt like at the end it was a little bit like the end of the Avengers Infinity War. Like you're just starting to see like the death of an icon, because like they zoom in to show you this is the point where he snapped, and now we're gonna go into why he's gonna become the U.S. agent that we all know it is. I mean, he's been feeling inferior for like since the first episode. Like,
that's his fault. There's a reason why Sam didn't take the shield.
Man, I wouldn't take the shield.
I hated his character. Like the whole thing with him, because like he took the shield that should have gone to the black man, but to dumb it down, they gave him a black girlfriend, a black best friend. He's from Atlanta, went to a black high school. I'm like, see, that's too much. Y'all doing too much to make me not hate him.
Seriously, Farrakhan, you're reading too much into that. Like, I mean,
John, does he have a black girlfriend?
Is she black, or did they light skin her up enough to look either way?
Nah, she black. Does he have a black best friend?
Yeah.
Did he go to a black high school in Atlanta with black cheerleaders?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's.
I didn't write the show. Man.
that was the theme. That was the theme of it. That they took. I mean, we all know from the first episode, the whole theme of it was, what do you call it? Racism, and whether it was inclusion, anything else. Yeah. So of course you're going to dumb it up. You're going to bring it up that the white man gets the shield. and this white
That's
guy
how they portrayed it.
Yeah. So of course, and just to make it, like most things in life, most people to go, well, I have black friends. Like, you don't have to tell me you have black friends.
It's like, oh, don't hate him. He has black friends.
Yeah. So I get that part of it, but I was joking about that.
The dude, the power broker.
Yeah.
I think that's the dude who remember when Sam gave up the shield and that first white dude was like, good job, Sam. And then he was the one that actually introduced the new guy.
Yeah.
I think he's the power broker.
It's possible.
Because he was too happy about Sam giving up that shield.
Like, take the shield off this Negro.
That's how it was. But do we think Sam gets the shield in the season finale?
No, I think Bucky does.
I don't think Bucky gets it. I don't think anybody gets the shield right away.
Nadia?
I kind of said my theory, but that's kind of what I want. But I don't think it's what's going to happen.
Ashley, I know you haven't watched it, but from hearing whatever, you think Sam gets the shield at the end?
So lost. All I know is like, oh, Captain Falcon may be Cap. Okay, that's all I really know of this show. That's why I'm so quiet. I'm just like, oh, it sounds interesting. I mean, like, I still have to watch WandaVision. There's so much.
You don't have to. They can say you can sum it up by watching a YouTube video,
and that's why she's on the anime episode.
There's so much backlog.
Comics is not her forte.
But also too, life's been chewing me and spitting me out lately, so I haven't been catching up on anything. It's so sad.
That's the world we live in.
Yeah, I think the season finale, Sam does have the shield, and he's going to use the shield to fight Carly in the final battle. I think Zemo gets like an end credit scene.
That's not a bad theory.
Yeah, I think it's Carly versus because remember when Carly was like, "Oh, I want you to join my team, Sam." Like her whole thing was about him being anti-Cap. Now, if Sam actually has the shield, that's going to set her off.
I love how low key you always show a little hint of British in him. Like he does this little hint. He slips in this British dialect every time he talks about a British character. Yeah. Low key does it.
I have to laugh how he gets happy when the black characters get anything in the show. Like he's like, "Oh, Sam," like, "Yo, Sam." I hope they do. I do hope a theory is that they do give it to Bucky because Bucky actually had the shield first before Falcon did, and I'd rather that than to pass it to Sam because even in the comic book, Sam was like, "I don't need this." He was like, "I'm my own hero." Because I think giving Sam the shield takes away from him being Falcon, him being the hero that he is. And when Bucky took the shield, it was because they were that close. And like Bucky said in the episode, if he was wrong about you, then he's wrong about me. And I think giving Bucky the shield will show that Cap was not wrong, period. I also hope a theory is that Old Man Cap shows up at the end of the episode. And like looks at both of them like, listen, two of you, settle down. I gave the shield to one of you to carry on.
Oh, you mean Chris Evans?
Yeah, Chris Evans. Like I hope he shows up and says, I gave the shield to one of you guys, to you, to be the symbol because I know you deserve. Yeah, because I know you deserved it. You were who it is. Maybe he didn't give it to Bucky because Bucky wouldn't be ready for it. That responsibility.
Well, see, that's what I'm
might throw him over the edge.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I feel like it's going to end with Sam getting the shield because the show, first of all, like you said, with all the the racial undertones and stuff from the beginning, the show is being like, forget about what we know from the past or comics. The actual show is being set up for Sam to get the shield. It's not being.
I don't believe that either. I don't believe the show is being set up to give Sam a shield.
Because with all the conversations that he's had, because Sam's being portrayed as like whenever somebody has like a moral gray thing, Sam's having conversations with everybody. He's talking to this person, trying to calm him down, talking to her, talking to him. Like Sam, they're making him, like the American like morale, like voice of reason here. I don't think, and even if he doesn't put on like a red, white, and blue costume, I think he's at least gonna walk around with the shield for a while. It's not being set up for Bucky to get that shield.
Yeah. I don't think
Bucky would take it, even if somebody was.
I think that's just. I was just throwing that out there, like if they give it to him, but I still don't think.
Yeah, I just don't feel that's where the show is going.
I don't believe Sam is being set up for the shield either. I believe they're setting Sam up to be Falcon.
Only one way to find out, folks, is to watch the series on Disney Plus.
Oh God.
And there's your
not sponsored
by Disney.
Like I want to turn around and be like, shut your damn mouth. They're not paid. The mouse hasn't paid us. Like yeah, but watch it on Disney Plus. But they ain't pay us for this shit.
They ain't pay us or give us a review account.
Hint, mouse.
Thank you.
Balls in your court there, buddy. Right? But no, any one of our theories could be right.
Well,
just remember, I'm the one that said Black Star's still alive.
Well, we'll see.
True. Yeah, we'll see. Like, it's an interesting theory. He could be alive, Well,
we'll definitely see. But Nadia, any last words on it, and we'll go on to the next section.
No.
Okay.
I'm loving it.
All right, so we're gonna head into Jarrell's questionable views on life. So this is
on life.
So
I didn't know anime was life.
So
just some people it is.
Yeah, some people it is, man. Like,
unpopular view number 1.
Here comes the next Get Out Jarrell section. So take it away, Jarrell.
This one is interesting because I don't understand it. I was like, I went to an anime convention long time ago, and a person who was like super into anime got me into anime. Mm-hmm. They said that when we go to the convention, they said that there's one thing I don't want you to mention to these people if you talk to people.
Okay.
And I asked them why, and they explained it. I didn't get it, but
okay.
So the thing is, and
like everybody said, well.
And if you have a problem with it,
okay,
tell me why. Because I don't. Because I honestly don't get it.
Okay, go ahead.
When it comes to anime, for me personally,
cartoons.
No, when it comes to anime, for me personally, dubs over subs.
So
actually, wait. You like wait.
Hold on. What did you just say?
What did you just say?
No.
I said you're a dub.
You're a dub person?
Called me a dub. Yeah. Is that a problem?
So I'll say this. You know how they're the console wars? So there's the sub and the dub wars. That is part of this culture. I personally don't get it because I'm always in the middle. I'm always Switzerland. I'm very new.
You're a switcher
when it comes to them. Leave me.
You mean she's bi?
Yeah.
So it just depends on who they cast and what the anime is for me personally. But yeah, so if somebody asks you, do you watch sub or dub, it's kind of putting you back into a corner because either way you say it, one side is going to get angry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was a get out moment for you.
But that hasn't been my that hasn't been my experience because every single time I tell people I like dubs, they look at me like I've committed treason.
Wait. No, hold on. Wait. You like dubs?
Yeah, I don't think that's a get out moment for you because that's just more of a debatable moment. Yeah. That's just more debatable.
No,
you didn't say anything.
I don't watch subtitled anime. I hate subtitled anime.
Now you can get out.
So I'll say this. That is totally fine.
Is it? Because that hasn't been my experience.
No, it's not fine. Like he just totally trashed subs.
Wait. I'll say this. For me, I don't care if you like subs more or you like dubs more. However you enjoy the show and however you understand it, that's how you do it. So if you're the type of person that gets really frustrated with reading subtitles and you just want to watch the show, that's fine. If you're the type of person that can do both and you can listen to the Japanese language and read the subtitles, you can do that too. I just think it comes down to the voice actors personally. And I think that's really like the main I think that's the main thing that people will argue about.
You about to stab him? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I feel like Nadia's loading the shotgun.
I'll say, like, for me, I don't care if you liked up. Okay, you liked up. That's totally fine. I think, like, again, one, people love the originality of the show, and then two, especially with dub nowadays, especially now, a lot of it gets politicized, and a lot of the translation gets lost.
Yeah.
So a lot of
It
people
went woke.
don't like the dub version because of that. Especially, and this can go down a rabbit hole real quick, but
Go down it.
especially with the dub for Funimation, a lot of people have problems with their dubs because some of their writers put in their own political views in the translation when it doesn't need to be. And so a lot of people get turned off by that. And then also too, sometimes companies choose the wrong voice actor for that role. And then other times it's just how the voice actor just portrays that role. So a lot of people say, like, go to sub more because, one, it's to the original, and then it's not as politicized as it would be in dubbed. And I think that's really like the main reason why, if you say dub, people look at you like you have like 10 freaking heads.
Well,
but that's just my opinion. That's how I see it from my perspective.
she's absolutely right. Begrudgingly,
but Stabby over here.
But I had to just ask you, since you don't read. If you don't like to read subs, that means, does that also apply to foreign films in general? You watch like dub versions of Bruce Lee movies or like karate films, like things like that, or you read the subtitles?
But here's the thing: we've all watched dub versions of Bruce Lee films.
I'm just using an example because if you watch foreign films with subtitles, then there should be no problem watching an anime with subtitles.
I actually don't watch foreign films with subtitles.
You kind of miss out.
So that explains it. So that explains it. Okay.
You know, that's a get out moment.
And then it's like everybody sounds the same to me.
Even worse.
No. Wait. Before you condemn him on that, I will say, until you get the kind of ear to listen to it,
yes,
they do all sound the same. Because I've watched anime and I've been actually working on a computer. And it's been like the original Japanese dialect, and I swear sometimes it's like unless they like lower the tone in their voice, you kind of look at like, who the hell was just talking?
Yeah.
Like, so depending on the movie and how invested I am in it, Ashley's right. Voice acting for the past dubs have been really good. They picked the correct voice actor to, to portray the character. As of recently, it just sounds like they were like, "Hey, you ever speaking in a microphone? All right, good. Come over here. We just need you to read this line."
The dubs.
That, and then also too, they keep using the same voice
actors all the
every time. So when I see, like, there's for example, the new The World Ends With You, Neo, The World Ends With You is coming out. And they got new voice actors. Like, there's people like I'd never heard of, except for one person. Which gets me excited because I'm like, okay, good. They're bringing more people from the industry that we haven't heard from. And that's starting to be a trend a little bit. Like, I'm starting to see more new voice actors that I haven't heard from before or seen before. However, a lot of the other titles and everything do have the same voice actors. It's really, acting in general, I feel like it's a really small group. So everybody knows everybody. And I think it's especially smaller in the voice acting community. Again, if somebody's a voice actor out there is in the business, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But in my personal experience and what I've seen, it seems like it's a very close-knit family, and like everyone knows each other, and it's really small. So that's my only gripe with dub is that I keep hearing the same people, even though like a lot of those voice actors are like really, really talented. Sometimes it just gets a little bit stale because I can hear it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember you. And
not to mention, sometimes the female voice actors all sound like they're coming from California high school. Like they all got that Valley Girl sound. Well,
and it's just one voice actress in particular. I'm not going to say her name.
We're not going to say the name, but it's just like it's like, especially like they don't talk like that. It's not something how a Japanese character that's living in Japan will sound like. You're like, like you lose the experience. For me, I'm more sub because that's how I started. I started off watching anime with literally watching it on a Sci-Fi channel, and not just the Sci-Fi channel, but just watching on international channel with literally no subtitles. So I was watching Dragon Ball Z like with no subtitles whatsoever, and don't know how I understood what was going on, but it's Dragon Ball Z. It's easy to follow.
I've had that experience. Yeah. But Nadia, since you call Jarrell a dub, what's your opinion on it? Because I don't think anybody's heard. I look like that. She said, "You dub."
I mean, I guess I'm looking at it from the perspective of I like foreign films. A lot of American remakes are horrible.
Amen.
So I think I prefer to watch it in the original language and get the authentic expression and authentic feelings. So when I watch, say, like a Japanese movie or a Korean horror movie or a Spanish movie, I like to watch them in the original language. So same thing with anime. Like I prefer the original language because it just feels more authentic to me.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, just
Team
like
sub all the way.
Just like Train to Busan, they're trying to do an English American version of it. You know they're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't do it. All the American remakes are trash.
Nah, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong about that. No. I mean, you can look at the Grudge. I mean, that was decent.
Grudge was decent.
You could look at The Eye with Jessica Alba. I mean, there's so much stuff that you could just like.
Wreck, and I think we spoke about that. Quarantine was horrible.
Yep, Quarantine, which was a remake of Wreck, which was brilliant. But Jarrell, your friend was absolutely right to warn you because had you decided to go into an NAK convention and go, I am Team Dub, subs would have been on your ass. You might not be here right now talking. The reason why I pulled out the key was to show you an example of what some person would do because people are that cray-cray.
Listen, I will be that person in the friend group that's like, hold on, wait a second. Like, I feel like I would be the mom in that
You'd be like, he doesn't know any better.
He doesn't know. It's okay. It's okay.
He's a noob.
Let him talk, okay? Let him talk.
Y'all by yourselves. I'll be the first one in the crowd to toss that grenade right there and be like, he's speaking blasphemy. And then turn around and run out the crowd and just be like, dance for me, puppets.
Sean be the one who go to a con and start some beef and just look like, yes.
Nah, I would sit on one side and be like, yo, you subs are full of shit. And then walk around the other side and be like, fuck Dub.
I'd be the only one on the Dub side.
But
you wouldn't be the only one. There are a lot of people who like Dubs.
There are a lot of, I would say there's a lot of Westerners that the
damn.
I know a lot of people that refuse to watch movies because they're in another language, and I'm like, you're missing magic.
Yeah, because I have my friends too that watch anime, and sometimes like they drop by and they be like, oh, let's watch this show. I was like, okay. It was like, wait, we're watching this in. I don't feel like reading. I was like, well, you ain't gonna watch the show with me then.
It's like even though I know we're going to that subject later, like Legend of the Overfiend, you can't really watch it dubbed because it sounds weird with some of the voice actors that they had on there. Yeah. Like the first one, the voice actors I think were good. Yeah. But when they tried to continue the story, it was just like, who is this whiny motherfucker they have in this show?
I think the 80s, and I'll touch on this a little bit. I think the 80s and 90s dubs actors were a little bit better when it came to actually giving a performance. Like Ashley said, like today's dubs is the same actors over and over, and a lot of them don't even change their voices at this point, Ashley. So it's just like
Robotech was a good dub.
Robotech, the original Gundam was an excellent English dub. Vampire Hunter D.
Yes.
I mean, Yu Yu Hakusho. That's when Funimation was on their A game.
Inuyasha.
Inuyasha. You know, Dragon Ball Z. Back when
And I actually like that the Inuyasha soundtrack.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's excellent.
Beautiful soundtrack.
I mean,
With the exception of "Come My Way," I don't know what they talking about though, but that shit is a vibe. That's the only song where I understand what she talking about.
What do you call it? What was it?
Wolfrain.
Wolverine.
Oh, Wolverine was so good.
I mean,
Your favorite?
my favorites. Oh, Neon Genesis.
Neon
Evangelion.
Genesis was really,
Really
good.
excellent.
But
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I will say this with Neon Genesis. If you do watch the dub, you're going to have to watch the extended. I think it's the extended version of it, not like the original ending. Like they did
The
like
end of Evangelion.
Yeah, you have to watch the original extended ending because they really go deep into that. Like that scene with him and the Russian girl Asuka.
Yeah, and she's in a coma, and he
like I
lets
was just
himself
like,
loose.
I was like, yo, dude, you have. And then at the end when he's sitting there, he goes, "I'm so fucked up," and I was just like, yo, you sure are, sir. like you really are.
It's a we'll get into that.
It's a deep. But I don't. Jarrell may like Neon Genesis, but it's a really deep psychological it just really deals with
psychology,
the relationship between you and your parents, the relationship between you and the opposite sex, the just weird shit.
It's a coming of age story when you really look at it.
From a fucking psych ward?
Yeah, but I mean it's mainly because I think the creator when he did it was battling severe depression. You can clearly see that with Shinji. And my favorite female anime character, Masato, where you see all those layers of her dad, like you said, with parenting and everything else. But it's definitely one of my top favorites, which I'll get into 1 second after we talk what is an otaku, since people want to know what you always hear otaku. Like anytime we go to a convention, tacos, like. No, it's not tacos. We do not have tacos.
I like a burrito whole the beans.
Oh my god!
It's not tacos and geeks, but you know what? You guys are giving me. I'm about to buy a domain name because y'all giving me good ideas.
Like
geeks with tacos, like a site that's just dedicated to tacos and geeks. But
First Westerners.
The term otaku is actually a derogatory term in Japan.
First.
Yes, at first, back in the early 80s and 90s, it was something that you call somebody who was extremely obsessive when it came to anime and just waifu and all that other stuff, which still kind of applies today, you know, when we get into the dark side of it.
But they make waifu sound so like, it's the greatest thing.
Endearing.
Yeah.
Well, I think so I actually went on Webster dictionary actually has some background story about the word itself.
Yeah.
So how otaku is in Japan, yes, it's a derogatory term. It's slowly starting to be less derogatory.
Yeah.
Over the years, but the word itself is used for the formal second person pronoun, and it also has the meaning of house in Japanese.
Yeah.
So when added the meaning of obsessive enthusiast, and then it became to apply to the subcultures of Japanese culture. And then kind of we westernized it.
Yeah. And made it something more positive, and they just kind of
so it's kind of the same thing as saying when we used to be called nerds and geeks.
Yeah, and then you just embraced it. Yeah,
actually, they just said that too. So it said like in the late 19th century, geek was used to refer to as a dupe, a foolish person, and then in the early 20th century, it became to refer to as a carnival performer, often billed as a wild man whose act usually includes biting the head off a live chicken or snake. Okay. And then
Ozzy Osbourne.
And then geek in the middle of the 1930s, it switched into like what we think of geek as of today. which is really interesting. So,
And that's Ashley with her knowledge of the
listen,
episode.
that was my teacher coming out. I'm sorry.
The more you know.
Sorry.
The more you know. No.
And knowing is half the battle.
Dun, dun. But that is what an otaku is, and like Ashley just brilliantly explained, it was adopted mostly in the West, and now it's something positive, and thus came. And how did I come up with that name? I'll give you a quick story.
So basically, you were insulting people.
No, I was.
That's what I was thinking.
No, I was dating a girl at the time, and I'm not gonna say her name, but I was actually dating. I think in a way she was insulting me. So I was dating a Japanese girl at the time. So I guess because before it was this, I had a website called Artistic Wings, and where I was just basically. It was supposed to be more of a movie review website, but I just kept doing anime. Mm-hmm. And one night she was just like, why don't you just, you're such an otaku, why don't you just, call it that, Otakus and Geeks? And I was just like, it's a good idea. Yeah. And then I was like, wait, you're pure Japanese. You're literally from Japan. Like, did you just insult me? Yeah. so she's like, yes and no. Wow. But I was just like, you know what? I like the name. I'm gonna roll with it, and boom. Okay. And
only because I don't really want to offend anybody out there. I had a terrible comment to say, so I'll just keep it to myself off camera. If you hear it later, but also I wanted to say when your original name was Artistic Wings, I was like, that sounds like a bomb ass wing spot to go eat at, yo.
Thank God for imaginative visions. So
if you could open up a wing shop.
That sounds like a bomb ass wing. Like, yo, come down to Artistic Wings and get your teriyaki.
Draw your name.
So that is the origin of our name. So actually, credit to her. Wherever she's at.
To her.
So she's the one that actually gave.
Don't be in here saying credit to her. So, this thing blows up. This chick start popping up on there talking about like, yo, I want my royalties for coming up.
She ain't gonna get shit. But yeah, that's how the name came. So that's the birth of that. And now we're gonna talk some of our favorite animes and just talk anime in general. So I'll kick it off since I know a lot of people don't watch as much anime as I do. So just some titles I'm gonna throw out there. My favorite of all time of a series is Neon Genesis Evangelion. I talked about it so much enough on the show. I'm not gonna touch on it. But definitely my second will definitely be Robotech Macross. Mobile Suit Gundam. I'm rewatching this on Funimation. I sent you to both the clip, and I sent you the clip too, Ashley. Remember the? I was laughing my ass off. There's a scene in Mobile Suit Gundam where this girl, her father, is she is trying to marry somebody from the Zeon, which is the opposite. It's the enemy. So she's engaged to this guy. So the father finds out. And she's like, I had the right to you choose. And he just pimp slaps his daughter. Hard body. And I didn't realize how dark the original Mobile Suit Gundam was. It's damn. Like, just brilliant. I think I'm more of an 80s, 90s type of person. As we can tell. So, Dragon Ball Z, of course, probably my first real anime series I watched as a child. It used to come on Channel 11?
Yeah.
Channel 11, back when it was Dragon Ball, then Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. Big fan of GT. I don't know why a lot of people hate GT. Big fan of GT.
Because it blows donkey dick. That's why.
I like GT. I like GT, the Baby Saga, at least. Mm-hmm. Baby Saga is good.
So towards the end.
Yeah. Towards the end, yeah, I guess. Yeah, towards the end, GT. I mean, there's tons of anime if you watch on Funimation, Crunchyroll, that you just, for me, I'm more of an old school guy. So I'm like 80s, 90s. I try to watch the new stuff. Like I haven't watched Demon Slayer yet, which everybody keeps talking about. Demon Slayer. I have not watched it yet. I keep hearing about it. Like I got to check it out because everybody keeps talking about My Hero Academia. Unpopular opinion, it's okay. It's not like the greatest thing in sliced bread. Everybody keeps saying. Don't at me.
No, I just think I just
get ready for the comments.
Yeah, I just think My Hero Academia is for the younger generation, kind of like what it is for. Like I don't watch a lot of the newer anime because not that Like, I tried to watch Attack on Titan, and I was just like, all right. Like, I don't hate it, but if, like, for some people that are like, oh, my God, you gotta... I was just like, all right, if I miss this episode, I'm not going to cry. Like, I'm not going to care if I miss this episode. I still have more of a care that High School of the Dead hasn't returned.
I know.
And it's done. And then it's, like, the creator passed away. Yeah. They're not creating any more manga. It's done. Not to be disrespectful to the ladies, like, this show has given me the worst case of, you know what, like, you got me there, and I was just like, come on, give me the rest of this show. Like, I'm like a crackhead scratching, like, come on, baby, give me one more hit. Just like, and then you gave me like the O&As, like you gave me like little stories, and then you just cut it like somebody out there like pick the fucking ball up, like, and just.
Yeah, but then it'll enter fan fiction territory, I guess, because it's not his vision, I guess.
But the thing is, they were taking the stories from the manga. He already did, like, what, 30 books already of, like,
30
part
volumes,
2. 30 volumes of part 2. Pick it up from the mangas.
And just do like they do at Elfen League and create your own own ending, and that's it. But there is one anime Ashley put me onto, which at first, like, I remember when you were younger, Ash, I remember you made me sit down and watch this. Where it was Orin High School Host Club.
Yes, I'm actually wearing a shirt right now.
This is, it is. I would never thought I would watch this like romantic comedy. Like, those who know me know I'm like into really dark stories and shit like that. So, yep. Damn, man. Like, okay.
I don't watch the romantic stories.
Yeah, no, yeah, but this one was just like. It's a high. What is it? They high schoolers?
It's high schoolers. Yeah,
aren't all of them?
Yeah, they're all. Well, in the early, going into the early 2000s,
there was a bunch of perverts out there writing this.
They and this is like my biggest gripe with anime today is that there's no real adult characters, adult situations. Everybody is a junior high or high school student who's either the chosen one, can't talk to a girl, or is going into a video game world, fantasy, magical realm.
It was rare back then.
Yes.
To see a story centered around young adults. Yeah. And nowadays we're seeing a lot more of it, which
my anime. They actually fucked. So,
damn.
Like, today's anime, you barely even get. You lucky you see they kiss and everything, but that's as far as they go. Like my anime, like you watch Wicked City, you watch the movie Wicked City. Like this dude's smashing a chick and she turned into a damn spider lady. You're like, oh wow, okay.
I hate all that.
Tell me how you really feel, Justin.
I'm just saying that my anime was better than your anime generation.
I'm laughing.
Why are you telling me? Why are you saying your? Like I was almost in the same generation. I'm basically in the same generation.
I'm laughing because Nadia's like writing this down. Like Justin likes watching anime where people fornicate all the time, and it has to be dark. And it's like
he likes it dark.
She is really rethinking.
Justin likes his anime the way he likes his coffee.
Yeah,
I don't drink coffee though.
She's like, Jesus Christ, what did I step into?
But yes, but for me, I don't know. Like they're actually, you can name some of your lighthearted titles.
My lighthearted?
Yeah, your lighthearted titles.
Titles where people aren't fornicating throughout half of it.
Because everything I like is dark.
Isn't that everyone though?
So I grew up in Justin's generation a little bit. Okay. Of old school, so like with him, like I grew up with Toonami, so like I watched like Sailor Moon, DBZ, and then like when Adult Swim came on, like I was watching Rurouni Kenshin, Yu Yu Hakusho, The Big O. No one talks about The Big O, and The Big O was an amazing show. It's a really, really good show. It's kind of like I would describe like The Big O as if Batman was an anime, not now, but if Batman was an anime back in the 90s. I think it was actually a really pretty good show. And he could drive a mech. So that was Big O. So that was some of the things that I got interested to. So Then Oran again was one of those. Black Cat was also a really good show that I loved and adored. There was Chrono Crusade, which was the first anime that I cried
Oh wow.
because the ending is just so good. Um, yeah, every time, and like I one night I went through the whole thing, cried at the end, decided to just watch the ending to see if I had the same reaction, and I cried again. So,
Wow.
it really did have a really good big impact on me. Um, Pokemon here and there, I stopped watching after.
Yeah, Pokemon's actually an anime, folks.
Yeah, I was like, good, I can contribute to this conversation now.
Pokemon is an anime. It really is.
I stopped watching, I think, after Black and White.
Oh no.
You know what my problem is with Pokemon though? Is just that like
you tapped out when it got good.
No, she tapped out at the right time.
For me, Pokemon, every episode's the damn same. My disappointment with Pokemon is that in anime the characters grow up. Ash should be like 30 something and master by now.
Ash should have a wife and
kids and should be the next generation.
And how come we always there's only 150, now there's 200, now there's 250
that we know of.
Yeah,
that we know of, right?
Now every other week there's a Pokemon. I swear there's a Pokemon that's I'm waiting for this. It's like they're gonna start coming out with the first like non-binary Pokemon that's out there. Like, not that we know if any of the Pokemons have gender anyway.
Well,
so.
legendaries don't have gender.
Oh, so they are non-binary then.
Yeah, legendary Pokemon don't have gender because you can't breed them.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So I was like, this conversation.
By anime lore, Ash is actually 17.
Yeah.
Because every league that he competes in is technically 1 year, one full calendar year.
Okay. So why the hell he still look like he's 14?
So at this point, Ash is a grown. Yeah, at the point, Ash is a grown ass man because Pokemon came out when
96 or something.
Yeah,
94. Yeah, no, yeah, so,
96 or something.
No, 96. Yeah, because the game came out 94.
So I was 96. Mm-hmm. I was already out of high school. All right.
Yeah, but there are 3 seasons.
I'm grown.
Yep.
Okay. Ash should be grown too.
But for the characters, their entire journey gets split up into 3 seasons. For us, it's 3 years. For him, it's 1 year.
Right. Yeah.
96. I'm grown. Ash should be grown.
He still should be grown. We're in 2021 now.
He's 17.
Ash and Misty should have already done it.
Oh no!
All right.
Yeah, because they did tease that in the first season.
Yeah,
with that goodbye song and everything else.
You can't say Misty's name no more because Serena fans will cut your knees.
It will always be Team Ash and Misty.
And there's a theory out there. There's a theory that because this is like the main question about the anime just in general. Like, why is Ash still 12 years old in these different iterations? And the main theory that people are gravitating towards is that Ash is actually in a coma, and so all of the episodes that you're seeing is him dreaming about him being a Pokemon master and about him meeting all these people.
It's possible. That's the thing. They've come up with theories like that. Like, there's a lot of shows that they come up with theories about. Because remember, the theory on Ed, and Eddie is that
they're in purgatory.
That they're in purgatory. That all the characters have died already, and they died at different points in times of life, and they're all stuck in there because you don't see any adults, and they've all been around there. Remember, they had to redo the ending of Ed, and Eddie before, like, from the original. So it's like there are a lot of weird things that go on with.
Same thing with like the Rugrats, like the Rugrats theories, like why Angelica like carries that Cindy doll around and
because she's mentally
and all of that. Well, I'll just say this: the theory is that Angelica is actually making up about the babies.
Yeah.
So like they're not actually there. I think the only baby that's there is
Tommy.
No, but they got Rugrats. They got Rugrats all grown up though.
No, but the whole theory about Rugrats is that Okay, Tommy. Something about Tommy died.
Yeah, Tommy died.
Dill is the only baby
That exists because I guess
that
Tommy
really
died
exists.
caused by Angelica, which made her like.
But the parents play with
but
the kids.
Yeah, but they're saying that's all their guilt. Like the twins are like there was only one baby, but because the guilt of the babies dying, they split them into two. Like there's a boy and a girl. It's a weird. I will
They have some weird fan theories.
It's a dark theory.
I will send you the YouTube video of what they think about. What they think about the Rugrats. Like it's weird theories about how that Angelica is the catalyst. That all the babies don't exist, or they all died in different ways, and she's the only one left, and the parents are walking around with the guilt.
Susie and Kimmy are still real.
Oh no,
Susie has to be real.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is because like, just to cover all bases, I think Kimmy is still real. I think and then Susie's still real, and Dill is still real.
Who comes up with these theories?
Like,
they just think about these things.
Yeah, it's a really dark theory. But anyway, back to anime. So I watched Pokemon. Bleach was one of those shows, and I can't wait for it to come back out soon. Bleach was really, really good.
You mean you're not done with the 397 episodes that they've had out so far?
Listen. I stopped at certain arcs because I'm just like, this is a lot.
That's why I can't get into Naruto. It's too long.
No, it's the same thing with Naruto. It's the same thing with One Piece.
You just call him Naruto?
Yeah, I do that to troll people. I know it's Naruto. I just do it to troll people.
I can't get into One Piece because they're about 1,000, like almost 900 episodes. If they're not at 900 at this point in time, so I can't handle that. Cowboy Bebop, of course, always made a staple. Wolf's Rain is one of my top favorite animes of all time. I don't care what anybody says. Wolf's Rain is really, really good. There is a show that I really enjoyed watching, which is called Death Parade, which is only 12 episodes. And it's really good. It's basically about how, like, people who spirits come into like this bar, and like how like the conception of like you go to a bar and like the bartender is kind of like in a way like your therapist with certain things. Like you get a drink and then all of a sudden you spill out your guts about your day or like what's been happening, and that's kind of like what's happening in this instance. So spirits come in and they try kind of solve the mystery of like what happened with them and like why they're sad, and then they get either punished or they get rewarded at the end.
Yeah, I remember that show. That was actually pretty decent.
What was it called again?
Death Parade.
Yeah, it's pretty
Death
decent.
Parade is good.
And
Justin, if you
go ahead.
Oh no, if you remember watching like Little Gilad,
how can I forget?
It was one of my gateway animes too. That was really good. Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, I think everybody's seen that one at least. Full Metal. Yeah.
I like Brotherhood slightly better than the original.
Samurai Chupa. Did I pronounce that right?
I don't know.
Oh, Hentalia.
Oh, yeah. Hentalia's still going.
See, that's the thing with anime. Anime doesn't like. It doesn't. It ends.
It doesn't end. It ends and then
an anime series compared to a regular cartoon. An anime can be, like Sean said, 900 episodes before it's done. So you can literally be watching this thing for years. Like even if you brought an entire collection, it's going to take you a minute unless you are
have years
sleeping 2 or 3 hours a day. But
the problem is a lot of those episodes are filler episodes. Yeah. It doesn't even go to the main story. They're all filler episodes.
But let's pass the baton to the lesser anime.
But wait, we heard Nadia. What? I mean, I
was going to pass it to her too.
She can go first.
Yeah, Nadia. What have you? I know you touched on it before, but what have you watched before?
So I like anime, but I'm more comics. You guys are like the anime heads. But I did grow up like watching comics back in the day. Watching anime back in the day, like Toonami, of course, like Sailor Moon. I grew up on I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, Akira.
Yep.
Akira, Spirited Away, And then
Oh,
I love samurai movies, so I got into any samurai animes I could find. So I was a really big fan of
Samurai Shampoo.
like well, yeah, that's my favorite. Samurai Champloo is my favorite anime. Period. But I love like Ninja Scroll. I love the Afro Samurai. It was pretty fun. And I also really like horror, so I like Tokyo Ghoul. I like Parasite.
Nice.
Obviously, Death Note. Ghost in the Shell. I love.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say Parasite? Yeah, Parasite was a favorite. I like Danganronpa because it reminded me of Battle Royale.
Yeah.
So I got into that. Of course, the Boondocks, if that counts.
Oh, yeah, it does. It does.
Full Metal Brotherhood is also my favorite anime. Like between that and Samurai Champloo, I could rewatch them. Those are my two favorite animes. Period. And then what else have I seen? Castlevania, if that counts. I love Castlevania.
It does.
Yeah, that's a really good one too.
And then the Resident Evil movies. I really like the first one, if that counts.
Yep, it does. CGI.
I think it was Degeneration.
Yep.
And then like the fun ones, like My Hero Academia. I still have to finish Attack on Titan. What was the other one? Damn, it's gonna bother me now. I need to finish Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, that's
I need
new.
to start watching it.
Yeah, I'm getting into that now.
Yeah, I read the manga. I'm reading the manga. It's actually pretty good. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah, I think those are my main favorites, like Parasite, Brotherhood,
and
Samurai Champloo, Ninja Scroll. Yeah.
Ninja Scroll, man, that one is.
Yep.
That was fire.
That's the kind of stuff I'm into.
They actually had nerve to make like a second movie that was like shit.
They also had a TV series as well,
Yeah.
too, which was not really up to par compared to the actual first one. But Jarrell, you probably watched the least anime out of everybody here. But what have you? Because you did get the Funimation account. So what did you check out on there?
On the Funimation account, I did watch Michinoku and Hachiken, and I was actually really into it. And then the ending, like, we're talking about like WandaVision levels of disappointment, like in that. And I was really mad. I was really mad. But before the last episode was actually really good. I actually did watch Sailor Moon like back in the day. It was a trade off I did because like I was with somebody who refused to watch Harry Potter, but she loved Sailor Moon, and then we just like, all right, you watch Harry Potter, I watch Sailor Moon. She watched all 8 Harry Potters. I watched Sailor Moon up until the talking horse showed up, and then I was like, all right, I'm out. Like, what's that talking unicorn came? I was like I watched all the stuff with the little girl, with the daughter, because apparently a lot of people hated the daughter. I ain't mind the daughter, but when that horse came, I was like, yo, we out.
But the horse was the best part.
And I think that was like episode 132. So I watched 130 something episodes of Sailor Moon before that horse showed up.
I'll check out soon.
But see, if you had watched the Dragon Ball Sailor Moon porn, you would have understood the point of the horse.
Okay, Sean.
We're not at the hentai section yet, but we will be.
The one that I saw didn't have a horse. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, I love me some Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 is actually like, because people love the original with, with Yami and the Pharaoh and Yugi. A lot of people love GX because they love Jaden, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 is probably the best Yu-Gi-Oh! series.
5D?
No, not 5Ds. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5.
I got tired of Yu-Gi-Oh! like 30 episodes in where this man would constantly bring out Blue Eyes White Dragon. Like that after a while I was like, I'm fucking done. Like, how many times is it, if somebody doesn't run up and blow this damn dragon's head off and call it a night, everything is like, the worst part of that thing is like the biggest danger they're in. He's about to lose. All of a sudden, he shuffles the deck. Blue Eyes White Dragon. Like, and then
he always,
conveniently,
he always draws what he needs. Like in every situation.
The heart of the cards.
Yeah,
right?
the heart
It's
of the
the heart,
cards.
Sean. Like, you gotta believe.
The worst thing is, I used to go to the Far Rockaway Library, and then there was a room in there. They used to call, what was it? What the hell else y'all called it? the Shadow Realm.
Yeah,
They used to be in it. We're all going to the Shadow Realm, and then I walk in there and like, listen, I'm a geek myself. But I walked in there and was just like, "Oh, this shit is enough." I was like, there is a room full of guys who will never touch a woman in their entire life, sitting here at a table, like throwing cards at each other, and arguing.
You mean outside of the Dark Magician girl?
Well, confession.
Listen.
Not even Ash knows this. I was a Yu-Gi-Oh player back in the days.
Really?
Yeah.
My brother's a Yu-Gi-Oh player.
I was.
we know.
I had some cards, but I was a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I wasn't good, but I did play. I did delve into it, but I was mostly more into the Pokemon trading card games that back in the days. But
And then you
also too, listen, those dual
then I got
discs
girls,
that they-
so
that
I
they-
stopped.
Those dual discs
Oh,
that
gosh.
they made as toys were fire. I never got one, and I've always wanted them, but they were awesome.
Oh, you gotta go to Canal Street for they got a bunch of them in Chinatown.
I mean, you know how like when they go
Don't tempt me.
I'm dead serious. Like I've seen it.
I'm gonna just put one and just mount it like it's a weapon.
I mean,
like, get one.
there was days like like when you were in school and they would like really challenge you and they're like, "You,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's lunchtime. We're gonna duel." Like they would literally do that in my old school.
Yes.
Like you and me, we're gonna duel. Bring your cards, and then you got.
I saw that once taking like my godchild to school, and this is at the height of it, like when she was little, and some little kid walked up to like her little brother and said that like we're gonna do it. I was like, if you don't go over there and smack the shit out of him, like I mean, really, just I said, rear your hand back, and you don't even give him the front. You got to give him the back hand,
The back.
and like, and,
Give him 5 on the black
yeah,
hand.
and I said, and you walk past him and be like, never speak to me again. Like, and just keep walking.
No, but I still do that. Actually, the first manga that I ever purchased was Street Fighter 2V.
Oh, now that you mention it, just want to give a shout out to the Street Fighter anime movies.
Yeah.
Freaking fire.
Yeah,
That's a must watch if you've never watched it.
And see, and I'm old school because I already told my age in the beginning of the podcast. But like back then, I had to actually go to I had to go to the anime video store. Mm-hmm. I had to tell the guy which one I wanted. He had to order it in a catalog, have it shipped to the store, and then he would call me to tell me to come pick it up. And because it was like 8 volumes of like each VHS had 3 episodes on it.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually I converted all the DVD, but that was the first manga that I ever purchased was Street Fighter 2. Like everything Street Fighter, like I watch. I mean, all the stuff that you guys mentioned, I've heard those names before, but I've never actually watched a lot of that stuff.
Oh, sorry. Fist of the North Star, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, we can't forget about that.
I can't forget Fist of the North Star.
Only thing we can forget about is the live action version.
Yes, which we're gonna. Thank you for touching on that. We'll get to that in a second.
Does Black Dynamite count?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, Black Dynamite.
Because if it was created over there, like the anime, because like you can even bring up the Batman anime, Gotham Knight, as an anime because it was
Batman Ninja
and Batman Ninja because those were technically
even Young
animes.
Justice.
I think Young Justice was created more in the U.S.
More in the U.S.
You don't count Young Justice.
No,
because it was created more in the U.S.
and it's for it's not really catered to their audience, so that's why it doesn't really. But
Go on HBO Max and watch Black Dynamite.
we not getting paid by them either, but
Max,
we ain't getting ad money from them either, though. But yeah,
Max over Mouse.
yeah.
Neither one. If you ain't cutting the checks, fuck them.
But Sean brought up a great point, which I was going to talk about really quickly. Live action anime movies. Damn, Ashley.
Yo, yeah, I heard somebody go.
So yeah.
Jackie Chan Adventures.
Jarrell, get out, man.
Wow.
That's a cartoon.
That don't count.
No, because he's Asian?
Damn racist.
What the hell, man?
My bad.
Hell,
When it comes to anime live action, it's the same applies with like video game live action movies. There are certain levels of suspension of belief that works hand drawn things than live action things. So, for example, and it works both sides of the spectrum. I just don't think like even when they have a live action and they do it from Japan, it still doesn't translate over.
Yeah.
And because a lot of, most anime is very fanciful, unless it's like a slice of life anime.
Yeah.
I think slice of life anime would be better to do a live action with, and I don't understand why there aren't a lot of that out. Because I think that if we can have dramas and we can have like, the Notebook, I'm pretty sure like a slice of life anime would make just as a big impact as that. But for me, it's just like they pick shows that, one, for nostalgia, two, that's too mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get this tornado of fans and then a director that has no idea what the heck they're doing.
Dragon Ball Evolution.
With the show. And then you bring on other people who try to quote unquote Hollywoodify it.
Hit Street Fighter.
And
Mm-hmm.
and then that doesn't hit the mark, and then you spend like almost billions of dollars on a movie that you think you're going to make a franchise out of.
Ghost in the Shell.
Correct.
First of
And then let's not bring up like the whitewashing aspect of a lot of these live action shows.
Oh no, bring it up.
No.
So,
Street Fighter.
I'm just upset with you guys keep slandering that Street Fighter movie. Okay,
trash.
Raul Julia, God rest his soul, gave an Academy Award winning performance and was snubbed by the Academy for his performance. All right, rest in peace, Raul. You know,
we ain't talking about him. We're talking about
not him specifically.
we talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme.
First of all, Jean-Claude Van Damme is a gem and a treasure to the world with his portrayal of Guile.
Now, who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?
He sounds real American.
I'll say this with the later renditions of Mortal Kombat, like I think they're fun and they're really great movies because it's just so full of camp. Because it's campy. I appreciate those movies. But movies like when they did Assassin's Creed and they did that, that's what I have a problem with.
Another Academy Award winning performance.
You know what? You gotta stop trolling, man.
I just think that like with live action anime movies, it's just because it relies so much on like CGI, a lot of like fantasy.
Don't say the C word around Nadia.
No, she doesn't like doesn't like CGI anime. She's like you like
Nadia doesn't like CGI, crappy CGI. Like, that's what it is. She like crappy CGI.
And I mean, I understand that too because I don't like crappy CGI either. Like especially when it's very noticeable. Like the Mummy with the Rock type of bad CGI.
That's early.
Again, why you slandering the Oscar winning performance of the Rock as a terrible scorpion?
Back then it was fire.
Hold on.
Now looking at it, you're just like,
he gave the people's eyebrow as a scorpion.
Hold on, Ashley. your family, I love you to death, but we do not talk ill will of the great one.
Oh no.
No, okay.
Especially he's going to run for president.
I'm just saying it's CGI in general. Anyway, live action anime. I don't approve of it. I just it just bothers me because people are not researching.
I mean, that's the same problem you can say when it comes to comic book adaptations as well. Is that no one really respects source material at certain times. Like, I mean, I did name drop it again. I'm gonna say it again. Dragon Ball Evolution, probably the worst single live action anime movie to ever known to man, because one, Piccolo created the Saiyans. Number one, okay, that was terrible. You had Goku go to high school.
Giku, all right, get it right, Giku.
Okay, you had that. I mean, there's just so much more, and then once again they whitewashed in that as well.
A ton.
I was more pissed off because my old company actually worked on mock-up stuff that they were sending to like other countries when they were selling the movie to like put their stuff in it. you pulling out the thing for? I'm not gonna. I think that's one movie I'm not gonna even joke and say should be good. Like I actually worked on it, and then while I'm watching it, we're trying to send it to like other countries to like show their foreign commercials or whatever to put their stuff in it. I was just like, why is this trash? And I can only hear bits and pieces of the sound. And I was like, why is this movie trash? And I'm only seeing bits and pieces.
Oma didn't even have blue hair. They gave her a string of blue hair. Like, you couldn't even put a wig on the girl. I
was like, this is just trash. And they found like the lightest, pretty-eyed black guy to be the fucking bully. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, the movie, there's so much other horrible ones, like the Fist of the North Star. If y'all never seen, do not watch the live-action Fist of the North Star. That was...
Watch it, people.
If you want to have like a really garbage movie day, like you can watch that and then watch Samurai Cop as well, which is a complete classic. But
the only good anime movie that I actually watched was Street Fighter Assassin's Fist.
Oh, live action?
Yeah, live action.
That's like from the YouTubers, or
I don't know who they were.
Oh, okay.
It was way better than that Jean-Claude Van crap.
Truthfully, the best one is Battle Angel. Alita is the best live action because it actually stayed true to the manga, and the OVA, which is original video animation for those who don't know, the OVA of the anime version of that. So it doesn't work because like what Ashley said, it's the same thing you can see in certain comic book translations like Bloodshot, where they just botch the source material and just it's the same thing. But anime seems to have it worse because like they've been trying to get Akira off the ground for years to make it a live action one, and then now they're talking about making an American version of it, which is
it's a mistake.
Which is going to be taking place in Chicago. Apparently, and then now they're trying to get Robotech, which was supposed to be originally Tobey Maguire is supposed to be attached to it. So it's just like they take these popular anime titles that used to be popular in the early days and just like, oh, let's just make a movie out of it. And
it surprises me they've never done a Sailor Moon.
Because I think
that
the only
legit
reason
surprises me.
The only reason I think they haven't done a Sailor Moon because Sailor Moon was like really overly sexualized.
Yeah.
And it's not a story that kids are going to run to for it. I think it'd be a good idea, but what are you going to really, even if you do the story from any of the anime, I can see Sailor Moon being a Netflix show, live action show. I can see that happening. I can't see it being a movie. Like I can see them taking it and making it a darker version of Sailor Moon and still keeping the concept of what it is, but I can't see them making it like a live action movie that people will actually go to theaters to watch. It's bad enough we have like Akira, like we're going to, and I'm not going to go Akira, I can't see. There's no right way I can see them doing this movie, but I can see 10,000 wrong ways they're going to do this movie.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know. I think the main thing they're going to focus on is how cool the bike was.
Yep.
And I don't think they're going to put that story together. Because you got to remember, like, a newer, it's such a classic movie that you can show it to any generation and they can relate to it or like it. And I don't know how you have to really pick the right person to write it. Even if you're going to change it a little, pick the right person to write it, the right person to direct it, and the right person to the right actors in it. And you don't need to whitewash this movie down to make it good. There are plenty of Asian actors out there who would be perfect for this movie.
But you know what, though? But that's the only, due to lack of not doing your research, that's the only thing where I kind of don't blame the American film producers. Because if you got somebody from America that's like, hey, there's this thing overseas in Japan that's really popular, maybe we should take a look at it. When they take a look at it, all the characters look American.
Oh yeah, well, sometimes.
I didn't like ScarJo in Ghost in the Shell. I prefer to see people that I don't care if it's a big name. I don't want to see Vin Diesel in an anime. Like that's my problem with a lot
unless
of
he fits.
American
Unless he fits
takes on things because they want to use big names, and I rather
Right.
watch, like we said, like say if I watch a Korean movie, I rather watch a Korean star than
Right.
watch Vin Diesel play that role.
Or give me somebody who's not known that can like grow into that role. Like, don't give me somebody who's out there. Give me somebody who you're gonna make the next star and that you can bring out.
Exactly.
I don't want
Because
to.
it just-
I don't want to
because
have.
it just-
Oh, God, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Justin. Sorry.
I don't want to have a character named Canada and he's a white guy. I don't want to have.
I don't mind that so much as if you really
because
get
it's a
somebody,
Japanese name. So
yeah,
it's like,
but you know, if you really, and even if you change some things to the an English version of it, like
Kane.
I
You
don't,
could
I
call him
don't,
Kane or
I don't
something.
mind that happening. But Nadia's right. Don't drag like. I'm trying to think of a young star right now. That's because I'm really off from it.
A Zac
Somebody who's-
Efron or something.
Like, yeah, don't bring me Zac Efron as the main character. Because,
Give me Louis Tan.
yeah, because all he's gonna do is just take his shirt off through half the movie, and that's gonna be the draw for like people who don't like girls who don't watch it
Yeah,
will go there
that's
because
just-
Zac Efron's in it.
Well, that's just a Hollywood cash grab.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
But,
like,
what I'm saying is, if someone came to you, when I say you, I mean all y'all. If someone came to you and said, "Hey, we want you to write and actually like direct a Sailor Moon movie," would you cast 7 American-looking Sailor Scouts, or are you going to cast 7 Asian girls? Because on the cartoon, only the blue hair girl looked Asian.
So that's the trick. No, I know exactly where you're going with because
Yeah.
I do agree
Yeah.
because the way they do it is the way they draw the animation.
Looks
but
American.
it looks American. But when you watch the show and
Yeah,
they
they're clearly in Japan.
It's not even just that. They say sometimes even the dialogue that they're Japanese.
yeah.
So it's just
Right.
like that.
And the culture, too.
Yeah, so you can do something like what they did with Alita and
yeah.
just use the anime eyes. They can do that.
But if you're an American producer and you have
Yeah.
no idea what this is,
Well,
Then you should never.
Well,
and you
and-
should
well,
never be
if-
on that
if-
show in
if-
the first place.
if you're saying Justin,
yeah, and
I don't know what this is. I'm not taking
Yeah,
it.
but then you look at it for the first time, you're just like, oh, this is a cartoon about 7 American girls.
Yeah, but the problem is that's the problem with shows now. They go find the hot actor, the hot producer, and the hot screenwriter, and they tell them do a little research. And that person is either has his head so far up his ass he goes and watches like 3 episodes of it. Because the thing is, it's not like when they bring the idea to them, they're going to make it tomorrow.
Yeah.
They actually bring the idea to them, and they already foresee this is going to be a few years before we get this out. So so you can get at least a good 30 episodes of Sailor Moon watching it to get an idea of what you should write.
Yeah. So then to my question, do you guys cast Asian women or do you cast American
I would
women?
cast. That's such a loaded question to who are you going to piss off? Like that's what it really is. Who are you going to piss
I
off?
can answer you. Right, I can answer you.
Like if you
I actually want everybody to answer this.
no,
I'm very
like
curious.
if you cast all Asian, you're gonna have a time. You might have a tough time casting the right Asian people. To not saying that there aren't out there, but you're gonna have to go through a lot of unknowns, a lot of knowns, and to just put them in there. And if you cast all American, then you're gonna get backlash for whitewashing. And let's say you do a mixture of both. You're going to be like, okay, either you're placating to one side or you're going to have to find, and then you're going to go through the whole problem with your studio. Your studio wants to make money, so they're going to push you to cast. Whoever you cast, the lead role has to be somebody hot right at
Who's
this
draw money?
Yeah, who's going to draw
Right.
money. So I get what you're saying, but that's such a, like, there's so many.
No, that's why I asked.
There's so many parts in that you don't know. You're either going to have a writer who doesn't really watch the source material or has no idea what it is and is going to put his own twist on it and piss off the fans.
Birds of prey.
As well as not making a good story, period, because he only watched like 1 or 2 episodes of the show and thinks that he has the whole premise of it down pat. And I want to answer, I don't know. I guess me personally, I would do a mixture of both. American and Asian, but I would still keep the culture of the movie in the movie.
Justin.
I would just go with whatever the source material is. So if the characters are national or if the characters if they are Asian, they're going to be Asian, point blank. That's just me. If there is, keep in mind it's live action. We know no one is going to look like a cartoon character, so you have to add a little realism.
Who you gonna cast as Mr. Bobo? All right, see, this is when you get stuck. Who you gonna cast as Mr. Bobo? Because you better not bring nobody black ass into that damn movie and make his lips overly big and look at him. Who you gonna cast as Mr. Bobo?
Gonna do what I gotta do.
Wow, Ashley.
So
I mean, again, it's like it's a hard question because I sounded so adamant about why I do not like live action anime movies. I think it's just a catch-22 because you're going to have Hollywood trying to push the narrative of, well, you need somebody who is either hot right now or you just need a big name in order to be in the movie, in order for it to work. I mean, for me, because if I'm going to be the director and if I'm going to be the producer and I am showboating the Sailor Moon movie, personally, I would cast the Sailor Scouts as Asian. Like Justin, I would just keep it the way that it was, especially because it works better culturally, and hiring those actresses within their own culture and within their own language, it's more authentic, and
cheaper.
I think and to be honest with you, Hollywood wants to cater to movies that everybody can go and watch and see. And a lot of the times, like, they miss the mark when it comes to like live action movies because they don't understand that the core demographic that they miss are the fans. If you can cater to the fans a lot more than just the general audience, one, you're gonna have a bigger turnout than just regular guys on the street that haven't really experienced anime,
and the sheep will follow.
Correct. And so, like, if that anime is good, like that can be like that live action, that can be a gateway to so much more. And the fans, like, the fans will keep buying it. The fans will keep going to see it because they're going to tell their friends are going to tell other friends. So it's a domino effect. And Hollywood is just missing that. They're missing that the fans make the movie. The fans make the show. That's how Deadpool got to be where it was. And, I mean, somebody, quote unquote, leaked the trailer to it, but like it was a fan-made project. Ryan knew Deadpool in and out. In fact, I think, to be honest, he is Deadpool. He spent time reading the comics. He spent time being the character. He used his own money for this project. He produced it, filmed it, and everything, and it was a hit. The second one, same thing, also a hit because he brought in Cable. He brought in like other people from the comics, and so like that. Like with that, like that is a perfect example of what you can do and what I'm looking for in an anime live adaptation. It's just the research. Like if I were to do a Sailor Moon thing, I will be like, okay, I'm going to sit down and rewatch the series. I'll rewatch the old, and then also because they revamped it into a newer version, also watch that too. Taking notes, seeing like, okay, so what's the storyline do I want to do? Do we want to go with the quote unquote origin story of it? Or do we expect people to know Sailor Moon enough that we can just go into an IP and it can be a completely different story? I want to get the mangaka, the person who wrote the manga, on board. What do you think of this? I want the person who directed the actual show. What do you think of this? So that's just me. I will keep it more authentic. And those who like it, they'll keep buying the tickets. I'm not worried about the general public who don't know what a Sailor Scout is. I would rather keep it to the source material. Because me as a fan, I would love to see that because I'm used to seeing that, and that's why I fell in love with the story. And yeah, so that was my rant. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I appreciate it. There's a donation box by the door. Thank you very much.
Nadia. Nadia.
I forgot what was the question about.
If a studio gave you the green light to create a Sailor Moon movie, would you cast the Sailor Scouts as American because that's how they look on the cartoon, or would you cast 7 Asian girls because you know it's a cartoon about Asian characters?
I feel like Asian. Like, I don't care to appease like American audiences. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I'd rather something that's more true to the craft. We've also to the source. We've also seen that whitewashing doesn't work. A lot of these movies bomb, and it's like they try to do it to appeal to more audiences, but most of the times those audiences don't even watch it. So I'd rather be pleasing to the actual fans and to give them something worthwhile. So yeah, I think I would rather cast like Asian or people that actually fit the characters better.
And that's why Alita was so successful. Because they catered to the manga. They did the casting was great, and they stayed true to the source material. That's why Alita was the beast. But we are going to go into two more topics really quickly, since I did allude to the dark side of the otaku thing. You know, there's this trend with I'm still trying to understand this anime pillow craze. Guys, I don't get it. Bro,
You weren't 14? You didn't do weird shit in your house?
No.
He ain't talking about 14-year-olds.
You ain't do, no, that's what I'm saying. You ain't 14? You ain't do weird shit with a pillow?
No, definitely not.
That's the way it is. Like, yo, people have their weird fetishes of shit they do that don't make any sense. Like, it's a pill. Like, it all stems from something, but you have to look at it that we grow up not in the U.S. not being afraid. There are huge documentaries on this. We grow up not being afraid to talk to women. We grow up not sitting in a room by ourselves. Like, I'm an only child, so me sitting in a room by myself is not strange.
Yeah,
I literally will tell you. You can ask Anthony. You can ask Raul. We've all lived in the same house before. 3 different floors. I swear to you, we used to have to do wellness checks on each other once every 2 weeks to make sure nobody's keeled over upstairs, because we'll go around our lives I'll come home, eat by myself, watch TV, go to sleep, get up, go to work. And the only reason you know I've been in and out of the house is because either my car moved or you heard me go out the door. So, but in cultures where people don't like being by themselves, we all know somebody who's afraid to talk to girls. And we all know that goes for both genders. People who are afraid. We know people who are very awkward. It takes Comic-Con has brought a lot into people, bringing together people who don't normally fit society's norms. So they get to interact with people who are kind of like them. You have that in Japan, but you don't have a lot of that out there.
Yeah.
Every geek should pat themselves on the back. We've made what we were made fun of as children into the most popular thing in the world. People who don't usually watch this stuff is into it. So the world is coming together for that. Imagine when you don't have that and the only friend you've had is a pillow. Or your mindset is that no girl can look as hot as the anime character that you watch on TV. And lo and behold, they've made a giant-sized pillow that looks like her. Some people's brains work in ways we don't understand. And that pillow is the embodiment of what they've always wanted in life, and that's it.
My man put that shit down to our science. I can't even counter that. I'm just like, wow.
It's like I'm laughing internally because I get what he's trying to say, but it reminds me of when he tried to convince me the Anthony Mackie Black Mirror episode wasn't gay.
I didn't try to tell you
and it's like Sean came up with such good logic And I'm like, bro, I believe and understand everything you're saying, but son, that shit is gay.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying it didn't have its elements of being that, but what I'm saying is like, it's gonna be weird to. Like just like
he was like, oh, he said at least the other guy wanted to be a female cat. At least Anthony Mackie was picking dudes, but I'm like, yeah, but his boy is on the other side of the controller.
Yeah. It's like you have to understand, like you open up an entirely new world of conversation.
Say shit right there.
When you're trying to explain that a virtual world where two people are in there who could be whatever they want. Because I mean, at any point, what if he turned into like they were both like aliens? Like we don't know what the sexuality of two aliens are, so we can't call it by our norms. So the thing is, like when I watch, you have to understand. There are times I spend weeks sitting in a house watching weird shit that comes on TV, like. And I've actually come across a lot of documentaries about the Japanese culture and the things they do. And for me, like when I see cultures where people are sitting in the house by themselves watching TV, that's normal for me. I was an only child. I used to go in my room. My mom would watch her stuff. I'd watch my stuff. I'd eat. We ate at the dinner table on Thanksgiving and some other times when my mom wanted to be social and be like, yo, we're going to sit with everybody and eat and we're going to do this together. And there are times when I'm like, TV is a good thing, but sometimes you don't learn the best ways. Like, I will tell you this. I learned a lot of talking to women from TV, which isn't the best teacher when it comes to rom-coms and comedies that don't happen that way. Like, the hottest girl in the school is not going to go for you because you have a heart of gold and you know what I'm saying, and you're very inventive and smart. You know what I'm saying? There's a point where
heart of gold.
You know, there's a point where you gotta go lift some weights and get some stylish clothes and look normal. You learn that the hard way, that high school, junior high school is not like that. The one thing I will say is certain realities set in as I started to one thing, Jesus. Right? So certain realities kind of set in. So the thing is, like, to say this, I understand how people can get caught up in things like you don't want to deal with reality. Like the reality of a relationship is, and I'm pretty sure I'm not speaking for everybody here. The reality of an actual relationship is not as easy as the shows on TV. It's not the happy ending that we see at our favorite romantic comedy where they get together and life is happily ever after. Relationships are hard, they work. Some people can't deal with that. Some people can't do it. But they can deal with the fantasy of them having a pillow or a doll. Because they can control it. Like you can have a doll. Or like I saw one documentary where a guy had a relationship with a computer avatar.
Yeah,
you know?
They're like there's dating sim games where they have real relationships with, like we talked about this before, the guy that married his Nintendo DS because he was in love with the game Love Plus. He was in love with that avatar. Yeah, so he married her.
Yeah, that makes them possessive people that just want things done their way.
I don't think it's possessive. I just think that
I don't want somebody that
part of it is maybe a little bit possessive, but I think people have a hard time relating and dealing with other people.
It's about connection.
Yeah, like me, I can walk off and just say, like, if we don't work out, I can either be friends with you or tell you I hate you and never speak to me again. But I can move on with life, and I'm okay with going through those experiences. Some people can't deal with that experience. So think about...
They fabricate their own connection.
Yeah, but, think about it. I don't know, like, I've heard people have experience with relationships that to me, I just be like, oh, it happens, but it's the worst thing in the world for them. So I know other cultures, especially in Japan, they take sometimes, and it may be exaggerated, they take their relationships to the extreme. Like there's no, like embarrassment for me is just like, okay, people will forget about it in a couple of days or a couple of weeks. There, it's like
complete shame.
Complete shame.
Shave your head.
Yeah, nobody will forget about it if something happens. If one of my girlfriends playing me and cheating on me is like, okay, she cheated on me. Like, you're the bad person in this. Other cultures, that is like the ultimate shame, and people are pointing and laughing at you. I'm like, it happens, so you can't deal with it. There are so many layers to this. You just can't. The whole pillow thing, Justin, is somebody got to be with a pillow.
Okay. Thank you for.
Well, I was gonna say at the end of the day, baby, you just crazy.
Yeah, like,
I mean, because I remember I was at it was at Otakon. I never told you this, Ashley. I was at Otakon online, getting ready to go to the panel. And this dude is literally behind me talking. These two guys are talking of how they prefer 2D girls more. Hey, all right. We don't, let me.
We don't kink shame.
Thank you. We do not kink shame here on Otakus and Geeks. All right. So he was basically breaking it down of why a 2D girl is better than a 3D girl, which I guess is what they will call real women. So he was just going in. She has this. She will never hurt. I'm just like, bro. You do realize that it's not real at all.
Well, I think that's also the to I guess go psychologically and disclaimer, we're not psychologists on the show. However, how I see it is like when that person said like she'll never hurt me, it's like it's also that fear of rejection. And it's because people who are so into that subculture and everything are disregarded or they're ostracized. It's like they can't form a connection or they don't have even the confidence to like go up and try to make friends. And so they internally go to 2D because one, they can never be hurt. They'll never hear rejection. And that person, that avatar can be with them forever. And it's sad. It's sad in a way because nowadays like being a geek, being a nerd, being an otaku is like now it's the quote unquote cool thing now.
We're the cool kids.
Sorry. I was gonna say I literally was just talking about that with somebody.
Yeah, it's like now it's like it's the total opposite. So now it's more culturally acceptable to be an otaku or being a nerd than it was like 10 years ago. And I just feel like it's all about connection. And so back then, like with the guy marrying his pillow and the DS, like that was legit. I think like 10 years ago, because that's when we were first starting. When we first started, because I think I was in high school at the time, telling my age. So it was just like around that time where things were kind of shifting in a different direction about how people saw us.
Oh wow, that's not interesting.
And so it's just like I believe it's like it's all about connection. It's all about like how people just don't want to feel rejected. And like with you, Sean, like I'm also an only child too. Like I have learned to be alone and be okay with that. And I mean, like, yes, do I have a list of hot anime guys that I wish that were real and my boyfriends? Of course. But I also do that with books. Like it's it's all about imagination, but I don't try to put expectations on that are outlandish to a real person. But I think it's because of the lack of connection and the lack of communication. I think that line between reality and fiction, it gets blurred. And so then you have people who want to marry, inanimate objects in order to feel validated. Okay, I'm done with my soapbox again.
I'm about to say, I mean, also look at online dating. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I feel like you should always sit in front of somebody and have a connection, because the thing is, like, you can be anybody online. Your picture is not real. I mean, we have an entire show, Catfish, dedicated to people who don't put up real pictures. So the thing is, like, people are even more comfortable with that. They never meet the person, but they spend years. Like, I've watched so many younger people sit down, like, this is my girlfriend. I've had like such a huge connection, and then they're just as heartbroken when this person goes. I'm like, but have you met this person? No. Have you had any physical contact with this person?
Nope.
No, but like, but our emotional connection was so strong. I'd be like, but you talked online. I was like, you could have been talking to a dog that just learned how to tap the ski, a bot. Like, you could be, thank you, Nadia. Like that, there could be anything out there.
He said a dog.
Like, you could be talking to anybody. Like, I'm just like, I just kind of feel like, when did we lose the point of physically talking to somebody? And nobody likes to be rejected. Nobody likes to meet somebody and be like, like just meeting you and physically looking at you, you are the person that, I would damn near choose. And the person's like, ugh, I don't like you. You're definitely not my ideal person. It hurts, but you have to learn that you'll get rejected, move on. Just for every person that rejects you, there are 10 people out there that like you. Mm-hmm. You just have to find it. So just let it go. And
this has been Otakus and Geeks dating advice.
And I want to tell Ashley, yes, we are psychologists, because if Dr. Phil can get a show,
we can
for years and claim that he's a doctor and psychologist and he ain't shit either. He has no degree in it. But we can get
now comes to the quick fun part, I should say. This is where we get a little bit mature, folks. So because we can't talk anime without talking about this particular thing, because let's be honest, it is a multi-million-dollar business too. So
cue the SpongeBob meme. I'm out. I'll be quiet throughout this whole section. So
there's this thing called hentai, folks. So Jarrell with the thumbs up
again.
What are we going into again?
Hentai. So get your wristbands. You had that 18 plus.
Get your wristband.
Actually, you know that reference.
Yes, I do. I'm my church fingers up. I'll see you guys after the break.
My church fingers.
Shoot, church people are the worst, though.
They got collections of that shit.
I went to Catholic school for 8 years.
Since the beginning, you could always I don't know, maybe the inception of anime. I'm not a hentai encyclopedia, so I don't know when it started, but I'm pretty sure it started the days of animation. Some animators are like, hey, I wonder what would happen if I draw something like this. So
let's be honest. Yeah. It had nothing to do with that. There was a point where somebody was just sitting there, extremely perverted, let's be honest. It's like, yo, what happens if I draw these giant boobs on a chick and draw what I thought was the lower half of a woman, and he was eating squid or something? It was like, what happens if this tentacle flies around and
Jesus Christ.
People have imaginations that we can't understand.
Yes.
The same people who marry a pillow or a 2D object are the same people who sit. Not the same people. There's somebody out there that sits and thinks, what is it, Rule 23? Like, it, no matter what it is, it'll be made into porn. Like, it doesn't matter what you pick, somebody's going to turn it into porn. We have
La Bull Girl.
No. We have, what's it called in the porn industry? When you make
parodies.
Porn parody.
Yes.
You have porn parodies of every TV show out there, cartoon and everything else. So if it's made, somebody's going to turn it into porn.
And this is where hentai comes in, because there's plenty of hentai parodies of your favorite anime. I feel like I'm doing this thing, and there's gonna be this kid who's gonna be writing every title down that I mentioned.
Hey,
so
gotta start somewhere.
That's so fucked up. But let's be honest. I think everybody, and Ashley's not gonna even admit it, but I think everybody has at least took a glimpse, even if it's a photo of a hentai, at least once in their damn life. Like,
first of all, I want women to stop acting like they don't watch it. Don't watch it, because I heard there were like 50 million women that have the picture of Chris Evans.
Oh, Schlong.
Yeah. Like, let's stop lying to ourselves like men are the only perverts out there.
Oh, he really posted it?
Except for this woman right here.
Well,
bullshit.
No, I'm serious. I never looked at it.
Oh, what, Chris Evans or just hentai?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
Nadia, you gonna stay out this conversation, right?
I don't think I've ever seen any.
Like,
Are we talking about hentai or Chris Evans?
Okay.
I think everybody's like,
Now, Falcon's America's ass. You got the daddy.
He'll prove it in the season finale.
Can you imagine?
I mean, hentai is probably like the most creative. If you want to go full blown,
it's
like,
not creative. It's just
It's
some
really-
perverted dude.
Yeah, so it's still art at the end of the day.
I already told you when I was a kid, I thought hentai was
I
anime.
mean, yes.
Like I thought that's what all anime was.
Like I think the first hentai I've ever watched, I think it was probably 12, and this is completely by accident, by the way. Because
Let's cut the bullshit. There was no accident.
No. I was literally looking at. I was watching anime illegally at the time, and I thought it was like La Blue Girl. I was like, oh, okay, this is a new anime episode, and then I watched like, oh, this tentacle's going whoa, oh.
He said, "Oh,
Okay.
Listen, I knew what I knew what I was watching in the first piece of hentai I ever got introduced to, which people need to realize it's still a really good movie. Was Legend of the Overfiend. Like, I don't think people realize that even though that movie was what it was, there was a story. That series was actually really good and really well thought out. Like, you can look at me as strange as you want. Legend of the Overfiend was like take all the sex out of it.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good.
You can still watch it as a good movie.
That's the point I was actually going to make too. When it comes to hentai, it's like, it's porn, but it's storyline porn done right. Yeah. Like, you can actually get immersed in some of these characters. Like, oh damn, okay, yeah, they had sex, but what happened at this next scene? Like, it's just like
the action in Legend of the Overfiend, like all the the storyline and the killing and everything. I was just like, wow, this is. Holy crap! Like you almost forget that there's somebody getting railed out by a demon. Like the scene before that, like you can actually just be like, oh, this is actually like really really done well. And then there's like just like overly terrible graphic hentai where the whole point of it is just to show you.
Yeah, it's like we're not even trying.
Yeah, it's just show you the most perverted thing you want. And the worst I'm not going to say the worst experience I had, and I hope they bring this convention back, but I will tell you ladies, never deal with it, is that when Justin first took me to AutoCon.
Oh, the 18 plus, right? Yeah.
And fuck 18 plus. Like the dude came out, it was just like,
oh, the hentai room, right?
Yeah, he was like, at midnight we'll have a hentai like section where we show you like great movies of hentai. So I'm thinking to myself, like, is it like a documentary, or they're just like there's a thing
bro.
they're talking about it? No, because you would think like this is, look, pardon my ignorance. I went there thinking that this place was just going to show you, maybe it's a documentary talking about how hentai influenced anime, and it's just at midnight because maybe the kids go to bed and they're not going to censor what they're showing. But no, it was an entire last 2.5 hours of the convention after midnight of a bunch of people sitting in the room watching hentai porn. Like, this is not the 70s. We don't go to theaters to watch porn anymore. And you're sitting in a room, like, in my mind, which goes all over the place, I'm thinking, like, there's a bunch of guys and girls. And I think we went down, I was like, there are guys and girls sitting in the room. We peeked
in there and I was like, nope.
Yeah, I was like, sitting in chairs within close proximity of each other, watching this together like it's family movie night. And I'm like, and you would think, I was like, maybe there'd be some people embarrassed that nobody would actually go.
Nope.
Like there would be a few people. No, there was a large group of people.
It was a theater.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, who's chilling with their peoples watching and I looked at it and I'm like, somebody's getting railed out by a tentacle that turned into a penis, and everybody's sitting there looking at it like,
They're like, yeah, that seems about right.
And I'm looking back and I'm going, how do you sit within like 2 seats of the person next to you? And it wasn't just that there were just guys there. There were girls there, but there were guys.
Couples too.
Yeah, like the couple thing I can understand.
Wow.
Yeah.
But, you know, like.
Yeah, there's couples in there.
But the thing is, there were guys sitting like in close proximity to us, like one seat, like 4 guys in a row sitting next to each other. And I'm like, yo, bruh. That's not like, yo, we all cool here, but I'm not sharing that experience with y'all. Like,
certain things I don't.
I'm not sitting there and I'm not looking over at Jarrell and Justin like, yeah, this is good.
Like, so you like the pink hair or the blue? You know?
Wow, that's great animation. You see how it formed into that? Like,
Damn, do you see that frame rate?
yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's not what we're gonna be talking about. But my thing is like,
that soundtrack.
Yeah. Like, I think that's something that you guys can watch by yourselves because there'll be a personal moment you need to be.
I mean, Ashley will tell you that's the difference between anime cons and Comic
this
Cons.
was at an anime con.
No, I'm saying that's the difference. Comic Con don't have shit like this. Yeah. Like anime
maybe
cons,
they do. We just don't know.
I've never seen a New York Comic Con, a Castle. No, Castle Con's technically an anime con. I've never seen.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just a party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never seen them like I've never seen a New York Comic Con have like a freaking 18 plus where I had to get a badge and get online.
Well, you don't know where they sell those badges.
Unless it's some real underground shit that I don't know about yet that they just displaying this shit.
My only problem with it is this is a con that you could have charged like $3 for and piped this into somebody's hotel room. Like where they like if a group of people want to sit together, you're gonna sit together in the privacy of your own hotel. But the fact that you had a theater and it was like 2.5 to 3 hours, so that means somebody stayed up after midnight to make sure.
Dude,
wasn't it 12 to 4 or 12 to 3?
It was 12 to 4. Yeah, 12 to 3 on Sunday, but the other days was 12 to 4.
Yeah, so that means that there were some people who got up out of their hotel room during the twilight hours, maybe catching a nap, to join other people and stand on. Like, I can't imagine the conversation I would have with somebody.
They sat around the campfire, roasting marshmallows.
I can't imagine like the look, like you're standing online. Like, I would just stand there and be like, yo, something is wrong with me because I'm online with other people and we're about to sit in the theater and we're not watching a classic film that had sex in it. We're just watching like filthy ass hentai, and we're all sitting there, and there's no Q&A after this. They're just gonna sit down and just keep playing these films, and we're just gonna keep watching it. Like there's no point to this.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Wait, right? Would you want a Q&A after?
I mean, to be honest with you, she said no. Like
I said no.
I got questions.
I think I would feel better if there was a Q&A afterwards because I feel like there would be a point to this, but because there's no Q&A, I just feel like I need to go to church and wash my soul after going in there because there's nothing I can look back at and say like I went to AutoCon and I sat in a room full of guys
and girls
because somebody's gonna do something that's gonna make you look and go, "Oh Jesus Christ, what are you, sir? Stop!"
Like you said about the pillow people, some people just they got their weird way of communicating with others.
There's a whole community to wrap this show up. There's a community of this. It's like I
mean, my experience. The first time I ever saw nudity in an anime was the Street Fighter 2 movie when Chun-Li was taking that shower and Vega went and bust that ass. Yeah. That was it. But my introduction to hentai, like a girl actually introduced me to hentai, and I thought, like I said, I thought that was anime.
I remember watching that Street Fighter scene, and my mom was like, "Oh, you're watching a cartoon." And that came on, and I went to press the stop button, like, "Oh," like, I wasn't looking.
That's the bad part about the old school anime is that you're watching it, and that's like I was alluding to earlier. Like the old school anime had those type of scenes because anime was technically catered more to adults at that time, so you had adult situations and adult themes and. You were watching something, and I remember I was watching something like Wicked Z, like I was saying, and then just full blown sexy, and you're like, what the hell? And then
like,
your
where
mom
the-
walked in, and she's like, what are you watching? I'm like,
It's like,
I'm
I
watching
didn't-
a movie.
I didn't know.
I was like, I didn't know there was gonna be a sex scene here. Like,
They lied at the video store. It said rated G.
Mom, it's a cartoon. I didn't think you could do
like
that.
you could be playing a visual novel, then you see a fan service, and then it's like a girl's tits is like, or a guy's. So you're like, what are you doing? Like,
Here's the funny thing. I can deal with fan service because fan service to me is just a level of perversion. It's just like you're giving somebody a flash or something. There's nothing like that graphic. Like you can just be like, okay, like a boob dropped out. Like I'm okay with it. But when it gets really when it's just pornographic, you have to like again, when we went there, my biggest problem was if I had to report on this, I'm sitting in the very back row with the wall behind me because I don't want anybody sitting behind me. And people were sitting like in the middle row and the front row, and I was just like, this is a dangerous situation where I don't have to allude to any. I was just like, I gotta go. Like I turned around and said, this is the part of Otakon that is really letting people be free with what they want to do, because I don't see a point in having this. There's no the director of this movie is not going to pop up at 12 midnight and talk about his vision of how he made this. So
What inspired?
what inspired him to do this? So there's no point in this other than you just want to get a group of perverts together, hopefully to take pictures, so their faces would be plastered somewhere, like to show them, like, yo, this is what some people do.
You just want to know who the freaks were.
on that final note, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of now want a hentai documentary where dudes is breaking down the movies and scenes of what inspired.
There's nothing to me. There's no real way I can explain this other than like people want to watch what they want to watch, and
We don't kink shame here at Otakus and Geeks.
It's fine that if that's what you're into, cool. Do whatever you want to. There's no need to have a convention about it unless that's what the entire convention's about. And I've been to I've actually, not to let it out, but I've been to an adult film.
Yeah, but that's live action
Industry convention where, like, I went once with friends because we were all joking, like, yo, we got to see what this is about. And I'm gonna tell you like this. It was the first and last time I went, and I was just like, you just can't go there. And you leave and you feel like, yo, you got to go home and wash everything off you. Like, wash your clothes, wash it. It's just not. My boy got spanked when he went. I didn't even know what happened. I just heard the hit and the scream. That was it. Like, I know
That's how trauma starts.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, you're hugging your pillow, marrying your DS.
So.
And then for those who want to know, because we're wrapping this up, the game is called Love Plus, with the guy who married his DS. So if you want to just do a Google search to see his wife, hopefully they're divorced by now. So if you want to see his wife, that can be your wife as well. It's Love Plus for the Nintendo DS. So
imagine like a bunch of other people marry your character. Like, is she cheating technically?
I mean, there was a disturbing question I got about one of my characters.
See, now this is Black Mirror all over again.
But I'm not going to go into it because it's a mutual friend who asked me a very disturbing question about Sakura, which I'm going to leave it alone. But yeah, I'll tell you off air.
after midnight.
Yes. We are going to wrap this up. Before Sean cues the music, Ashley, you go first with final words. Then Nadia.
Oh gosh, wait a second. I didn't know there were final words.
She's like, I'm still trying to wash the hentai out of my ears.
It's like my innocent ears. No, I think thank you for having me on. I'm sorry I've been so MIA with the Otakus and Geeks. It's for those of you who don't know, and I was planning on trying to do an updated post, but that never happened. So the best thing to do is just say it here now. So life has been happening for the past 10 years since ONG started.
Jesus, we're old.
I mean, like, I was in high school when we first freshman in high school when we first started this. So it's been a very, very long time. And through those years, I've been growing up and then, now having a job where I'm now a drama teacher in high school. So I've been very, very busy as of lately, trying to get the certification, trying to do just planning for the work of the week. I love it. I love teaching. I love my students. And so because of that, I haven't been writing at ONG really ever. And I've been and well,
Oh, God
I
damn.
have like in the beginning, but like it's been really scarce since then. And then I haven't really been. There's a backlog of anime that I like for the past 10 years, in between that I still need to catch up on. And so I want to apologize for that.
I don't have to
for
apologize.
being
Life happens.
MIA.
Don't apologize to us.
But yeah, so I think like what's been happening, I absolutely love. I love these types of conversations. I would love to come on again and talk
You
to
will.
you guys about other stuff.
Which I'm about to announce, but go ahead.
And yeah, and so I just love these types of conversations and being vulnerable and just be in rants and just have a good time and talk a lot about these things. And yeah, it feels nostalgic because it just feels like back in the good old days, back when we were young and we were so naive. So it just brought back memories of just Justin and I talking about stuff that we loved and yeah, and just bringing that back and because I haven't met a lot of our because I haven't been around a lot, but just seeing how the site and everything has just been blowing up is it touches my heart.
Jesus.
Shut up. Let me be great. This is I'm monologuing, okay? In the words of Syndrome.
Yeah,
I'm monologuing.
For those who don't, this is how we go. This is me and her. This is how we communicate. I troll. It's just so what we do.
But yeah, I enjoyed this. These conversations and everything, and it's just been a really nice time. I don't really know what else to say.
That's good. No, she just like how the adventures and credits go. Ashley will return, and it will be.
It will not die like in Supernatural.
Yep. She will return, and she will return. Which I'm going to announce right now because next week we are going to have the wrestling episode where it was just going to be me, Jarrell, Sean. Nadia has off that one, and because she is going to prepare for the following episode, which is going to be the all women's ONG episode, where
That's when I have off.
yeah, we obviously have off. Like, so
Let's just be honest. Nadia doesn't want to spend an hour talking about sweaty guys and a soap opera storylines. Like,
we're going to talk WrestleMania, Attitude Era, things like that. So it's going to be looking at. We're going to have Keenan from Cybe Gaming on there. We're going to have Dez from House of Glory. And very entertaining, we're going to have my brother on the line. So that's going to be funny.
shit.
Yeah, that's going to be...
I was gonna say my wrestling knowledge stopped at Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and Mankind and Rafiki. So I'm talking.
She
like
said
in the
Rafiki.
90s.
She said Rafiki.
Listen.
I was like, ain't that the chicken guy?
You stopped at the right
Right
time
because
WWF.
you have not been to the era of Cena, so you're good.
Wait,
Yeah,
you skipped
that's when I
that.
stopped watching.
Yeah,
well, the good thing about wrestling now is that minorities actually win championships.
That's the only
Only
good
thing
thing
about
you
you
like.
like
Wrestling is still trash now.
but we'll say that for next week. But Nadia, as always, plug your Gotham Geek Girl, and definitely love the latest post with the Women of Comics.
Thank you. Yeah, guys. So I've been working on a couple things. I just did an article on 30 badass female comic books you should know, because being in comics, I get aggravated when people new to comics say things like, there's no female characters, there's no blank characters. And I'm like, they exist. You just don't look past Marvel and DC. Like, if the only thing you read is Wonder Woman, then you're not going to know what's out there.
Preach.
So I put together a list of 30 comics that I've been reading since like the 90s, female characters that I feel everyone should know. So yeah, that's out there. GothamGeekGirl.com. I also did a review on a movie called Awaken, which is really different from my usual content. It's a 4K immersive movie around the globe. It's kind of like a silent film with a little music and a little narration, but it's more like meditative. And it's really beautiful, just to look at different cultures around the world. And that's also up there. And just working on a couple things. I might have another unboxing coming up soon. And then prepare, for the woman episode for Otakus and Geeks.
And Jarrell?
We monologuing. So
you're
plugging your stuff. Ashley needed the monologue
because Ashley ain't gonna come back for a while. So
I was about to say this is your go-to for the everything Arrowverse. Supergirl still trapped in the Phantom Zone. We got Batwoman coming back tonight. I'm still reviewing that. Black Lightning comes back on the 15th, where they do the Painkiller episode. And Superman and Lois is on hiatus until May because somebody caught COVID. The Flash is still going strong. We got the Speed Force in the mix now. The Speed Force is an actual person, so we're still doing that. We're doing Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm also doing WrestleMania for the wrestling fans, so definitely check it out if you like all that Arrowverse superhero, TV conversation. And we're still waiting for the review for Titans.
Nice. And John?
Well, as you know, I'm doing this OG podcast. I'm also doing my less than politically correct and raunchy podcast, The Chronicles, which is anybody wants to check that out. It is definitely 18 plus, and we definitely do it for the jokes, and we talk about events and stuff that's out there. It's definitely not for anybody who, it's definitely pushing the limits for cancel culture. Right? So check me out on Chronicles. Also, I'm doing reviews on Invincible. I'm also trying to launch something new, which Justin alluded to. We want to launch something new with just the ladies because I think there's something out there that women don't have their voice on a podcast. They do have podcasts, and I don't want to make it seem like there aren't women out there who have a podcast, but I've listened to a lot of women geek podcasts, and I think they just stick to like women's issues and cultures in the podcast. One thing I will say about Nadia and Ashley out there and a few other people who are going to join it, they actually talk about everything in comic books, and they have a good female perspective with it. So we're going to put that out there. And other than that, I'm going to vegetate on the couch for the rest of my vacation.
And I will wrap this up. I'll let you know when to cue it. We will have upcoming things for Otakus and Geeks. We are actually going to introduce a top 10 type of series. I'm going to be working on it. Our first one is going to be the top 10 Ninja Turtle games. I'm actually editing it right now. So be on the lookout for that. Should be out by Tuesday. So it'll be out this Tuesday as of this recording of April 11th. And, of course, you can always follow me on Instagram at Imaginative Visions, at Imaginative_Visions. My name is Rachel, September 14th. Pick up Cry Hero 1 and 2. Cue the music. We are out of here. Later days.